what do I do?
Fine. What are you trying to do?
My headphones are plugged into this thing, which I feel like it should be plugged into Charlotte, right?
I mean, aren't they always plugged in here?
Fucking, I don't know.
I mean, it's your setup. Pay attention to it.
I try to. He does a whole bunch of shit. It just, I don't understand. Okay. How do I go to, like, my Discord settings? Is it, like, preferences? And then, like, fucking voice and video, and then output, Charlotte, and then that would be my
listen to him, see if you can hear it. If not, we'll adjust.
Okay.
Who put the gladiator?
Julius.
Do you not remember the rest of it?
His favorite flavor.
Guys, talk.
Hey.
Hercules.
They are talking.
Well.
Alright, so yeah, you gotta plug it into the black thingy.
The black thing.
Talk now. Make them
Hello.
talk. Are they talking? It looks like they're talking. Damn it!
Yes.
The lights are flashing.
Oh no!
Fuck.
Oh, you can't. They can't hear us.
What do you have it plugged into right now?
Fucking. Ugh.
Guys.
It's plugged in this guy.
Yeah, those guys.
Unplug it. Plug
You
in
was up.
Scarlet. Yeah. But Scarlet's connected to that though.
Unplug and replug the Scarlet.
Eat it.
Shut.
Where did the headphones even fucking go? What is this?
Everything going good?
Can you hear them now?
No.
Okay, let's go back into
Damn.
your settings.
Suck.
It's okay.
It's annoying as bots.
I know.
No, not his butts.
Scarlet is just the output. Output.
Emerald.
Well, I gotta do it.
You don't gotta.
You know why I gotta.
You're just lucky I can't kick you out of this Discord.
I did it.
Do what?
I can hear me.
Okay.
You can
but
hear
I
now?
can't hear that.
Okay, yeah, you don't want to sound.
Yeet.
Oh, maybe that's just because of this. Or, no, if you can't hear them, that doesn't make sense. Shit.
Yep.
I think this thing's only required when both need to.
Yeah, but if I have my mic and my headphones both into that, then it should be fine.
Should be, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Systems. And I can hear me, but I can't hear them. What if I do it? That does nothing.
Let's see here.
Hey Izzy, can you hear us?
Yeah, I put my headphones back on so I can hear you.
Okay. Everything going okay with Carrie?
I still can't hear you.
Carrie still can't hear you guys.
Well, that's
she
fine.
can hear
She doesn't need to hear
herself.
anybody. That's
Fucking
fine.
bitch.
Wait.
She doesn't need to
little
hear
thing
anything.
isn't lighting up.
What's wrong with
It's still
that?
just your mic that's lighting up. So is it not picking up fucking anything?
Let me mute myself for a second and see
I'm
what
gonna
happens.
quit Discord.
With that being said, we have started on both Twitch and YouTube now. Hello, everybody who has joined so far. We are, at the moment, just getting everything set up and ready for everything to start off today. I am here with...
I hear them now. You hear them? Yeah.
You can hear us now, Carrie?
Yes.
Good. I am here with
Jesus.
my 4 players who are going to be getting involved with this little nice wholesome game we're going to be playing.
Shut up, Logan.
Fucking Logan.
This is your old equipment. Of course, you know how it
Fucking
works.
Logan, god
He just go down there and like
fucking
fix it for
Logan.
you and like be like, aha,
No,
I'm the
dude.
greatest.
No, he didn't even fix it. Like, I just quit Discord and came back in, and he was like at the door, all like, "Oh, way to go, guys! Like, we're fucking idiots."
I didn't hear any of that because you said it while I was going up the stairs.
Damn right. Damn right.
Oh, so you might want to mute me.
Beast roll.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Oh, well, that's not good. Apparently, Levy says the
think we're
word
even-
die is enough to trigger YouTube's weird, like, holding comments thing.
Really?
So, like, anytime, like, someone's saying
Wait.
die, he's, like, having to, like, approve them.
Jesus.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
where are you streaming, Deco?
We
On
are
Summoner
streaming
Network?
on both YouTube and Twitch. I will place it. I will place it in here if you guys want either one of the links.
Yeah, boy.
Damn it, I was gonna link them.
Do it.
And we are at the moment just making sure everybody gets ready, gets set. I have a few things I'm gonna be trying over the course of this game, so I hope you guys are fine with that. As far as other things are concerned, I've already talked to everyone here, all the players, about some certain things that may or may not be happening as far as things are concerned. So let me go ahead and explain just what this game might entail. We are going to be playing about 2 to 3 games of a D&D type of slasher scenario, based on like the olden movies of like the 90s, going maybe some Friday the 13th, some Scream, some Halloween, some Nightmare, you know, things like that.
Boy, yes.
Everyone here, to my happiness, has decided to create characters that are like slasher tropes. So we have like the jock, we have the stoner, we have the kind of ditzy blonde, and we have the virgin that lives through everything.
I'm proud of us.
Yeah,
We'll
dude.
see. We'll see that one.
We'll see
Oh
if
my
the virgin
God.
lives through everything this time. Sometimes the virgin doesn't.
She would. There's no way
And
you're going for
oh,
that.
and everybody, I'd like to throw something over at our friend Yamato SFX here. He is playing his first female character in my game.
Yay! So proud of you. Like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Awesome.
going to talk like that the whole time.
Oh my god, yes! It's gonna be the best!
I'm going to kill it. I'm going to do it.
There are going to be several
Okay.
parts of this game where we're going to be maybe separating into different chats for a thing that I'm calling the planning stages, whereas people can plan stuff and talk to me separately without having to worry about the others listening in on them. With that being said, I cannot hide any of that from the audience here, so all of you guys will understand everything. I may or may not have sent each of them a message before we started playing, and I gave each of them a message. Some could say, you know, like, hey, what's going on? Or I might have just said something random. Or I might have told one of them that they're a killer. Or I might have told one of them that they're going crazy. Or I might have told all of them they're going crazy. Or I might have told none of them anything.
Sack of shit.
Dear
So-
God.
With that being said,
Hooray.
during the planning stages, you guys might learn who is going slightly insane, if there's any, or if all of them are, or what's going on. That being said, each of you play your character the way you want to play them. If you guys decide to maybe go slightly crazy throughout the game, even if I didn't tell you to, you're more than happy to. You're just not gonna, you just can't just all of a sudden be like, I'm the one that killed them if you didn't kill them. I mean, you can say that, I guess. But we will see. We will see what goes on. Yes, this is a fairly late stream. We're going to be going on for about 2 to 3 hours, maybe, depending on how things go. Does anybody else here have any more questions before we start things off?
No.
I think we're good.
All right. With that being said,
Oh god. I'm scared.
that being said, we are all going to be, this is going to be a theater of the mind game, guys, so you're not going to be able to see like any actual pieces or anything moving around or anybody using sheets or anything. They all have like their own very simple sheets that they're going to work with. I will change the background every now and then, and I may end up doing other things as well. So with that being said, everybody. I hope that you all have fun. And I hope that my players here have all the fun they can have.
Hell yeah.
And finally,
Hell
frightened.
yeah.
This is gonna go
Hell yeah!
Oh my god. I'm scared.
last thing all I'm gonna tell you guys
I have like
is that
nothing
each of
prepared.
you-
I haven't.
each of you wanted to go on a little bit of a trip. You all decided through one way or another to go to a ski resort. This ski resort is pretty famous. It's a pretty nice little thing. It's very large, first off, very sturdy, and there's all kinds of competitions usually held there. One of you in particular, I believe, came here for said competition. With each of you coming to the mountain for your own agendas, the first night, unfortunately, after everybody got here, a storm started to pick up. This storm, unfortunately, called off any festivities that were going on, any, well, competitions, and most people were barred from going up the mountain to do any skiing or snowboarding. When the storm started picking up, people started leaving the mountain. They started getting themselves out. The four of you, as well as a couple of other people, decided to stay back behind, because it's like, this will just blow over. Or maybe you guys had a reason to stay behind that I may or may not have told you, or you may not have told me. As all of this is happening around you, the storm started picking up. The roads started getting far too rough. You heard screeching and crashing down the hill as people started leaving. You're not sure if everybody made it out. You guys stayed behind, sitting in the lodge as the worst part of the storm came over. A day passed while you guys were waiting. You were all sitting amongst each other or by yourselves in your rooms. You guys did a head count at one point, and there were 11 people in the lodge still. Another day passed. The first day or so, you guys were, being fine. Things were going pretty well. But the storm kept raging. A window broke upstairs. On the second day, you're also noticing that you guys might have been a little bit too, gung-ho about the food in this place. It started to get a little bit scarce. Not all the way, of course, but in the actual main area of the lodge, there wasn't a lot of food. It was all in storage a little bit up the hill, in a different building. But nobody could make their way out. At the end of the second day, you all went to sleep. The storm, throughout the night, began to get a little less.
Hey, a new guy! Did you know we're the Phantom Thieves?
I got a follow, so it actually I got a follow, so it actually looked over. I'm like, oh god.
Taking us out of the situation.
All the time in Nat 19 that happens. I'll be like describing something, and all I'll hear is the fucking Angelomon fucking eyes cannot help but to orbit the celestial body.
God damn it.
I just stopped because I'm like, I can't talk over Ryuji freaking saying he's a phantom thief.
Of course not. Jesus.
God.
But thank you very much for the follow. But the storm started to die down that night. Just a little bit. By the time morning came, it was just a bit of a flurry outside. Looking out the windows, you saw that the roads were, still overrun. Some branches have fell. The snow seemed very thick. And it was still coming down. You're not sure if you're just like in a little lull in it or not. It's still probably a little dangerous to go outside, but eventually someone has to come up here and save you guys. You each eventually came down from your rooms. But as you guys come down from your rooms, you're met with a very interesting sight. With this in mind, I would like each of you on the dice site to please roll me for your luck.
Oh, fuck. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, that didn't work.
Nope.
What
This
you need to
isn't
do is you need to go
grabs.
hashtag D20
Okay.
and then plus whatever.
Yo, hashtag D20 for life.
While we were going over everything, I macroed all my things.
Oh, okay.
Hashtag.
Cool, I rolled a 1.
Wait, so
And Emerald's
16.
dead. Thanks for playing.
Emerald's already
wait.
dead.
Oh my god, yes. So wait, that's plus to luck. I have 6 in luck, so that's fucking yeah.
That's a pretty
Emerald
good
and
one.
I
then.
come down the stairs like we were
22.
chatting. We were chatting upstairs.
Oh, no.
A spear flies in through a window and like murders him. And just, everyone's like, "What happened?" "I don't know. A savage tribesman just appeared out of nowhere and threw a spear into the house.
I'll save you, bro.
With this
Then he
being
repaired the window and ran."
with
Oh
this
my
being
God.
said, we're gonna go to each of you who just rolled. You guys can explain who you are and your character, and then I'll tell you what happens with you. So we'll start off with the two that got the highest. So first things first, you're going to go to, as you say in your thing, Lucky McBenny.
That's what my friends call me.
Hey, a new guy. Did you know the Phantom Thieves?
Shall I just give the general breakdown?
Thank you, the real faithful gamer, for the follow. And yes, just give a bit of a breakdown of who your character is and who you are.
My name is Benjamin Harklin. I'm 27 years old. So someone bring out the slides. Someone just bring out the visuals. I'm Benjamin Harklin, age 27, gender most definitely male. I'm a professional skier who came here for a competition, and I'm the best there is. They call me Lucky McBenny because I'm lucky, and also Benny, and someone thinks I'm Scottish somewhere, I guess.
Jesus.
Damn my athlete's appetite, though, for I've done us in with the food.
You're the one.
This is your fault.
Some people say, Lucky McBenny, you don't have the body of an athlete, of an Olympic athlete, and to them I say, no you.
I love him. Fucking goddamn it. Oh.
With that being said, Lucky McBenny, you apparently in the first 2 days have eaten your fair share of the food in this lodge, correct? You woke up rather early and you came downstairs with a luck roll of that high. You might have been one of the first people to see something that was coming down here. So, as that being said, Lucky McBenny, I want to ask you one thing. How so far has the rest of your competitions been going before coming to this place?
The rest of my competitions have been going absolutely swell. I've come in first place in all of them on account of all of my opponents never showing up due to illness, injury, or death.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
I don't know why it keeps happening, but I've taken first place every time.
With that being said, you come down, you being, bright and early Olympic athlete. You come down, you look outside, but as you're coming down, you do notice that, several other people are down here. But someone else got the exact same luck as you, so let's go to her as well. So Carrie, do you want to go over who you are and who you're playing today and anything about her?
Hi, I'm Stacy, and I can't remember my last name because people don't say it very often to me, so I'm Stacy. I'm definitely a female, and I'm 18 years old, and I came here with my boyfriend Chad, who's like just the best at
So
snowboarding.
is that canon?
Yeah.
You're right.
I know that you had said last night you messaged Emerald trying to.
Dude, I was all like, our characters are going out and deal with it, and he's like, all right.
I mean, I got nothing against it. It's great.
Raddest Chad has the second highest luck, but I got a 1.
Oh.
I got a fucking 1.
And
So-
Izzy did only slightly better.
So how have you been doing the past 2 days here in the lodge?
I mean, I feel like I've been doing good. Like, I haven't been, like, eating a lot because, like, you know, I don't do that. I don't eat. I'm okay.
She's right.
And yeah, she's right. I've never seen her eat anything.
Ever.
One day I'll catch her. She must do it
It's
sometime.
like Schrodinger's dog.
Perhaps when I blink.
She's like the cheapest date ever.
Fucking great. Or for dope.
Yo, right? Jesus. But
All right.
yeah, like I'm just hanging out. Like everything will be fine. Like
This
Chad
is
will
just a
protect
trip for
me.
you and your boyfriend then?
Yeah, or just or just like on a vacay. It's the
Alright.
best.
You also had
Yeah.
came down a little bit early, potentially early for you even coming down.
Oh.
As you come down, you and Benjamin here may be the first people to see something. However, again, there are some other people down here as well. But
Oh.
before we get into that, how about we go to Izzy here?
Oh god.
I'm
You
very
were
excited.
the next person to wake up because Rad Chad here rolled a nat 1.
Fucking.
And
The
yet my
first
number's
roll of the
higher than
game,
his.
Rad Chad rolled a nat 1.
Rad Chad misses the first day.
But I rolled higher than him.
Yeah, well,
My numbers are higher.
No, you didn't. That's not how it works.
so how about you tell us a bit about you and a bit about why you're here and how you and anything about your character, Izzy?
Alright.
Oh my god.
Well, my name's Rose.
God dang it.
My name's Laura.
Laura.
God.
I'm 18 and female, if you couldn't tell.
Oh, I'm starting to understand why you're a virgin. Go on.
For a second, I thought you were just talking about me.
No.
I'm fucking savage. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, you mean the character?
Fucking god. Go on, Ruth.
You've already got a fan. Yoki Paradise or Parasite has already said, "I want Izzy to live the most."
Hell
Oh
yeah.
my god, no. She needs to die first. Well, and I say I came here to read, but really it's just to stalk that bitch Stacy.
Yo, what up?
Why is it you want to stalk
Oh, shit.
Stacy?
I mean, probably like because she gets all of the guys and I'm jealous. I'm possibly in love with her. Who knows?
I don't even know. Jesus.
How have you been doing the past 2 days of being here?
Pretty good. Mostly been sitting in my room reading romance novels and crying.
Oh no.
I mean, reading romance novels and nothing else.
And nothing else.
Nothing else.
Oh my god.
Well, you came down a little bit afterwards from everybody else, and I just want you to know, just because you weren't the first person down here doesn't mean you might not have seen what was going on beforehand. Just throwing it out there. Just all four of you, just throwing it out there. Just because you guys come down later doesn't mean you didn't see it maybe a little bit sooner if something may or may not happen. Anyway, so as you come down.
So vague.
As you come
I
down, we are
think
going to
you
go
might have
to
been a
Rad
murderer.
Chad.
A murder.
So, Emerald, how about you tell us a little bit about Rad Chad?
So, dudes, I'm Rad Chad. I
Oh.
came to shred the gnar, slay some puss, smoke some dope.
That's what he's all about, that Chad.
Yeah, dude.
So then you were my competition in the ski competition.
Nah, dude.
I believe that Chad, you're not a skier, are you? You're a boarder, aren't you?
I'm a boarder, brah. It's all the same. I can't go pro though. I smoke too much.
Oh my god.
Just the end of every thought goes back to, yeah, I've actually got a problem. I should probably stop sometime, but unfortunately, I've got too much of a vice grip on my life. Thanks.
Oh, Jesus.
So how have the past couple of days been treating you there, Rad Chad? You and your girlfriend came up for a bit of a vacay.
Hell yeah, it's totally gnarly. I got my girl, I got my dope. It's great.
I have two things. That's all the things.
That's all the things that I need.
That's all the things.
All of them, I think. I don't know, man. What's -4?
Well, there is one problem, actually, Rad Chad. Since you were the one that had the lowest luck.
Oh boy.
There is one problem, man. For some reason, well, ever since the storm happened, maybe something happened. You can't find your board.
Oh, fuck! I just took my weed.
You haven't been able to find your board, man.
But his weed's okay.
It's because I thought you were competition, so tragedy befell you.
What?
You didn't even do anything, it's just your luck.
Or did he do something?
Oh my god.
Perhaps I'm secretly the bed.
Oh no. Oh no, not the bed.
But yeah, you haven't been able to find your board in the past 2 days, man.
Damn.
Maybe you left it outside in the storm, or I don't know. You're pretty sure you brought it back in, but who's to say?
Pretty sure I did.
But you see your girl. She got up a minute or so ago. She started going down. You want to follow her down?
Well, first I gotta line up for the day. You know how it is.
Yeah. Like, we should go for breakfast. Like, I don't want to eat anything. I just want to sit at the table and smell breakfast.
Ciao.
I just want to sit at the table and smell breakfast.
I feel like you're an Andalite. You absorb nutrients through your feet.
Oh my god.
Well, she does a lot of stuff with the feet.
Oh,
All right.
what? She a freak,
So,
yo.
getting back to Benjamin and Stacy. You guys had came down, and as you guys did, you passed by the entrance of the you came by the entrance of the resort. Let me go ahead and change this out here. As you go by the entrance of the resort, you look outside. You looked outside the door that's there. It seems to be ajar. You notice the cold wind coming in and the snow kind of coming inward. As one or both of you head over to this door to try to close it, you guys look outside and notice there's a bit of red among the snow.
Oh no.
I'd like to know.
Ruth,
I'd like
shut
to know,
up! You're not here.
I'd like to know, Lucky McBin or Stacy. Would either of you like to see what that is? No one else.
Oh
seems
my
to have gone
god,
outside
what
yet.
is that? Oh my god.
Somebody
Start
must have
heading out?
ventured out into the. Somebody that doesn't have superhuman luck must have ventured out into the cold.
Or someone went outside to eat their soup and they spilled their soup in the snow.
That is equally likely. We should investigate in either case. There may either be a wounded man or someone with soup.
It can only be
Oh
one of
no, their soup will be so cold.
Make haste! I'd like to throw on my jacket and leave. And that's the last you see of Benjamin.
All right. As you throw on your jacket to go and leave, since you're rushing outside and you're the first one to rush outside, I'd like for a focus roll from Lucky McBenny here.
Oh no.
Anything that's not low.
Oh no, any roll that isn't luck. I got a 15. That's pretty good for having a -2.
Yeah,
Lucky
boy.
McBenny, as you're going outside, maybe you knew this before, maybe you didn't, but you're noticing that there isn't any footsteps. There's no footsteps in the snow as you go outside, even though there's a trail of what looks like red outside.
Now, I'm not a betting man, but if I was a man that bet, ergo a betting man, I'd say that the soup left all on its own. However, that's impossible.
It's
Stacy. Wait, not Stacy. Fucking.
yeah.
Are you? Is that your name?
Yes.
All right, cool. Stacy.
You got lucky.
Hey, you were
Lucky
lucky.
for that.
You guessed, man. It was pretty lucky.
Yeah.
There is a lack of footsteps outside.
That means the soup left all on its own.
Dear God, if we both come to that conclusion, then there's no way we're wrong.
So I'd like to pause right here. So
We're taking this
3
very
of our
seriously.
4 characters have negative wits.
Yeah.
3 of our 4 characters are kind of dumb.
Hey, I can focus though.
And Ruth is
That.
plus 10 in wits.
Yo, we need Ruth. We're all fucked without it.
I'm pretty sure Ruth is going to strangle all of you.
Oh, yeah.
But with her -4 muscle, she'll do it very poorly.
I feel like even if we cannot see footsteps, if there's any chance that there's anyone out there that needs my athletic help, then we need to go.
We should go. We should go and try and help the soup.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
And
right,
you
the
need
2
a
of you
drink,
want
so you need to go
to
step
go
in
out
some
into the snow.
Yes,
Stacy, do
Yes,
you have a
go.
jacket nearby you can put on?
I hung mine up at the door. I'm gonna grab that.
Okay. The 2 of you with your jackets in tow, you start going out into the mildly flurrying snow outside. As the 2 of you go outside, Ruth,
Yeah.
you're able to see that these 2 are making their way downtown, walking fast.
Race is past and the homebound.
You see Stacy leaving with some other guy who isn't the Rad Chad.
Oh my God, scandal!
Hey, new guy.
That
Did you know what the
bitch.
Phantom Thief is?
Thank you, Aki Angry, for the follow. Anyway,
Oh my God. Yeah. Ruth, what are you doing?
Where am I right now? Like, am I at the door?
you
where
were at
there's-
you were at the stairway coming down into the entrance. You see both this one guy who's been kind of boisterous the past 2 days, and Stacy leaving together outside.
Interesting. And where is Rad Chad?
You have not seen Rad Chad.
Why does Izzy sound so far away?
I don't know.
Do I?
You sound far away?
Yeah, Izzy, you sound like you're farther from your mic than usual.
Really? I could
Oh, I've
try-
turned him up a little bit. He does sound like he's a little bit far away though.
Yeah, it sounds like
let me-
we're more hearing you through carries.
Oh no. Is your mic all set up?
Maybe I just turned myself down too much. Bleh,
I bet.
bleh.
Be.
Brr.
Yes. Is that better?
Just trying to minimize how much carry was coming in on my mic. Does this sound better?
You're fine.
Yes, that does.
But no, you have not seen Rad Chad. She did not leave with Rad Chad.
Does she? Does Ruth know where Stacy and Chad's room was?
Yes,
Given that
of
she
course
is
you do.
unambiguously stalking her.
Of course you know where their room is.
All right, Ruth goes to Chad's room
Oh.
because she's about to narc on a bitch.
Ruth! Oh my God!
You head upstairs to Rad Chad and Stacy's room. You notice that the door is closed, and they're you know about Rad Chad. You're not sure if he's awake or if he's doing anything. You want to knock on the door, or you just want to open it?
Gonna knock on the door.
Rad Chad, you hear a knock at your door.
Cha?
Hello.
Oh fuck.
Rad
Stacy?
Chad, it's that girl.
It's that girl!
Stacy? That girl I know?
How dare you think that's me?
But they sound so alike.
I only know one girl.
Rad Chad, why don't you roll me a focus?
Oh my God.
Ja, dude.
Oh shit. What did you do?
You did it.
No, I'm trying things. Just don't worry.
You're trying things.
Ja, dude.
Rad Chad, you notice that this is the girl that you've been noticing, kind of watching. You've heard the voice before. You've noticed this person kind of watching every now and then. Every now and then you catch their eye. They're like always kind of around you and Stacy for some reason.
Oh, the one that has a crush on me.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Do you want to open the door and say hello?
Yes.
You open the door. As you do, you did say that you were lighting up, right?
Hell yeah, bro.
Ruth, he opens the door, and you distinctly feel a wave of a certain smell come from the room.
I still have a bong in his hand.
Not even
Got a
so
bong in
bad.
his hands and boxers on.
Oh, yes.
Hello, Chad.
Hey, what's up?
Jesus Christ.
Do you know where your whore girlfriend is? I mean, girlfriend is.
Okay, the sheet might say Stacy the whore, but you're not allowed to say that.
Ruth has a lot of built-up anger.
I guess the bathroom?
Yeah, no, I mean, I just saw her walking out into the snow with one of those skier fellows.
Why would you do that?
Alone. I don't know, probably going to suck his dick. What do you think?
What?
I am saying she is cheating on you.
Nah, she wouldn't do that.
Ruth, you giant
But-
bitch.
Should
Okay,
probably
now
get
the
dressed
echo has
and get
returned
out.
with a vengeance.
Oh, yeah?
Oh shit.
Oh, shit.
That was funny though, because like it happened with the laugh, so it turned into like this like echoey, creepy laugh.
Oh, my God. Shit. So, wait, should we, like, turn ourselves down or something?
No, don't worry too much about it.
Okay.
You sure?
Yeah, I mean, it only happens occasionally.
Okay. I'm gonna turn me down a little tiny bit, see if it helps. Is that okay? You guys still hear me?
Mhm.
Cool.
Cool.
But what
Yeah,
do you
Ruth,
think
you're
of this new information, Rad Chad?
I'm gonna have to roll wits on that.
Oh, no.
Go ahead,
Please
man.
fail.
Why? Because understanding complicated problems.
Yes.
Rad Chad, she's out with another dude.
Fuck.
Fuck! I gotta get dressed.
Is he just
I
naked
gotta
the
get
whole
on
time?
pants.
Here, hold this.
Ruth, he has handed you some sort of device.
She like picks it up with like 2 fingers. Like she's like not sure if it's like contaminated.
Oh my god.
It would ask.
Like, ew.
It's a time traveling device. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You go to get dressed, and
That'll
as you
convince
go to get dressed, Ruth and Chad, do you want to head downstairs?
Cha.
Well,
Sure.
as you guys go to head downstairs, we're gonna go back to Stacy and Benjamin here.
Cool.
The two of you guys make your way outside. As you make your way outside, you head off into the side of the forest that leads off to the trail, heading down the mountain. You see the red liquid is getting, more and more defined, but the snow seems to be covering it slightly. As you guys have stepped out into this, it's been about you guys stepped out. The snow is very heavy around here. Like, you guys, even with your jackets, it's like jackets don't protect legs.
Fair. Do we not have on like?
Oh, you probably
heels
have
and
pants
shit?
and stuff on. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, yeah.
But just letting you guys know, like you guys are in some thick snow. You guys make your way a tiny bit into the trees, and that's when you notice a large pool of this red, and it seems to stop right there. There's a large circle of red in the snow.
We found it! We found the soup! I run towards it.
She
You've
starts
become
lapping
so-
it up like a cat.
Yeah, dude.
You've suddenly become a roboto.
I'm a robot?
You had more echo there.
Oh, shit.
A risotto?
Risotto?
You've become some
Risotto.
kind of alien risotto.
Oh, no.
All right. I would like to roll wits to investigate what may have happened here.
Okay.
Ooh.
As Stacy's heading forward toward the soup, go ahead and roll me for your wits.
Wits. I got a -1, which means that with my -2 of wits, I not won.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I think falls forward, facing the snow. Oh, God. Gets
Well-
back up. Sorry, my brain had to reboot.
I mean, Lucky McBenny, you guys found the soup.
We found it.
What my thoughts on this are that there was a barrel of perhaps tomato, possibly even vegetable soup. It must have been blown out the door when the door was knocked ajar and wind came in. Put up the slide. Somebody put up the visuals. The door was knocked ajar and wind came in, and the barrel toppled to its side and rolled out. As it did, it hit a tack on the floor and began to drip out. It rolled along the snow, not causing any marks, and when it arrived at this exact location, the barrel exploded. The metal went too far for us to find and left the remains of the tomato vegetable soup upon the snow. Damn, that could have been lunch.
Can I roll wits like near the soup to see if I A, think anything else happened, or B, believe what fucking Lucky just said?
You have made your way over to the soup, the large circle of soup that's there. You're looking down at it, and it looks a little strange. Roll me for your wits.
Okay, so wait. So that would be. I did it. Hey!
You're not sure this is soup.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You're not
What am I
100% sure this is soup. It looks a little bit too deep a red, and you see that there's maybe something in it that doesn't look like noodles or. You look at this and you're also like, you know, the wind's kind of going a bit and you're kind of getting a bit of smell. It's not the smell of soup.
I'm starting to think this isn't soup. Like, it kind of smells and the color's too dark, so maybe it's nail polish.
I'm
Of
just
course.
gonna leave.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
A barrel full of nail polish. Likely for the cheerleaders who would have cheered on the competition.
At the ski competition. Yes. Oh my God, this makes sense. We solved it. High five.
It holds together perfectly. High five, yes.
Yay! High five.
Nail polish smells like.
Do you guys want to go back to the lodge and tell everybody that their nail polish has been destroyed?
I believe that's the responsible thing to do.
We should.
This is why we shouldn't have had everyone except one person doing negative wits.
I think it's
rolled.
fantastic.
I made my stats first. I did not contribute to the overarching problem. I also
The two
didn't
of
take
you-
a -4.
The two of you start making your way back toward the lodge. Just with a look of accomplishment over both of your faces.
We did
See, this
it.
is why they call me Lucky McBenny. Because everything always falls into place.
As the two of you make your way back, Ruth and Rad Chad.
Yeah.
Rad Chad, you get yourself all dressed up. You and Ruth go down the stairs. As you do, you see both Stacy and this other guy walking in with smiles on their faces, looking like they have accomplished something.
Oh my God. You fucking shit stirrer.
You see
Greetings
that?
and salutations, you two.
Hi,
Hey,
baby.
what the fuck were you doing with my girl, bro?
Oh,
Just
shit.
being lucky.
Dance,
You got
puppets,
thrown punch.
dance.
Like I always am.
Oh. He was gonna go ahead and try to throw a punch at him.
Oh shit!
I'm happy about this.
God damn it, Ruth!
So you're challenging me to fisticuffs.
All right, He's gonna try to throw a punch at you. I need a muscle roll from our good friend Rad Chad, and a speed
All right,
roll.
bro.
And a speed roll.
24!
From our lucky.
23!
Holy crap, you
Well,
guys!
Oh shit!
Fuck.
You rolled a 19.
That was so close.
Oh my
we
god.
The
just
numbers-
both step into fucking bullet time.
The numbers that were rolled, just so everybody knows, is a 24 for Rad Chad and a 23 for Lucky McBenny.
Fucking horrifying.
As a punch gets thrown, you just see Benjamin just like go into some sort of like just zen mode where like he just like stares straight. His jockey intuition comes forward. He tries to dodge out of the way, but as he's dodging, you see the same form of clarity go over Rad Chad as he just curves his punch and lands it in the cheek of Benjamin.
Oh no!
As Benjamin, you kind of stumble back from the punch.
Catch myself
That's
on
my
a chair.
girl, brah.
Oh my god, what are you doing?
He literally just said y'all fucked.
He did say that. We all heard it.
We went outside in the snow following the soup.
There's no need to defend me.
Soup?
I'm
You
used
hear
to...
how ridiculous they sound. They went outside
like
in the
soup.
snow for soup.
We were
Man.
following the soup and we found the nail polish.
What were you-
okay?
what were you
There's a big
saying,
thing of
Lucky
nail
McBenny?
polish.
Fuck, don't worry about defending me. Men from all walks of life get jealous of how lucky I am. It's something I need to deal with. However, I'll have you know that while we did go out for soup, we returned having found nail polish.
Are you hearing this, Chad? Like, what?
It is the
Chad,
truth.
they apparently just went out for soup.
Gotta be wits again.
Where
For
would
your
they even
wits,
get the
Chad.
soup?
You shut up, Ruth! Why are you even here?
No
We-
reason. I'm not involved in this.
We found a
Ruth hides behind
mysterious...
the plant.
Ruth! Oh, wise Ruth, allow me to explain. We found a speckled
makes
red
some
path along the
sense to
ground.
me.
We found a speckled red path along the snow, but no footsteps. Coming to the conclusion that the soup barrel must have rolled out the door. We went to investigate, but found nay, not soup, but nail polish.
Ruth, this sounds really stupid.
Stacy's nodding.
This sounds
Good.
correct to
I'm
me
glad
so
I don't need to
far.
roll to know
Somebody
that sounds
named
like
Lord
gibberish.
Masama
Ruth, you
keeps joining
Ruth,
and
you
leaving.
have enough. You have enough wits. You do not have to roll. But how about you go ahead and roll me for your wits anyway?
Let's see. Hashtag D20 plus 10.
Horrifying. Jesus.
27.
Yeah, you know what's up.
Wait, what is that roll for you?
His wits.
My wits are
Ah,
plus 10.
That's awesome.
She's smart, bitch.
Oh, I
I mean,
didn't even
okay,
see the
one
roll. I
was
think
like
I'm in the
A
wrong
positive IQ.
thing.
What's up? What's up?
I didn't see the roll, so I think I'm in the wrong thing. I'm gonna go back out and come back in. But yeah, with that, you're looking at this like they said that they found some sort of barrel of nail polish. You're not
All
sure
right.
that's a thing.
All right, I want you to just think about what you just said and wonder if any, like even an ounce of that made any goddamn sense.
So we saw some red speckles.
Spoiler, it doesn't!
No, we saw
Not
some red
announced
speckles in the snow, and then we were like, "Oh no, someone must have like spilled their soup or something." So we like followed it, and then we found a big giant pool of it, and it was too dark to be soup, so it must be nail polish.
Not an ounce of this makes sense, Ruth. No. Several gallons make sense. A 10-gallon barrel, in fact.
He's right. There was a lot of it.
Question, like, did any of what is obviously blood get on them?
That's a good question.
Roll me for your luck, Ruth.
Oh.
Let's see, my luck is 2. Okay.
Oh.
You
But-
see that along Stacy's sleeve of her jacket, because you've seen that jacket a lot. You've paid attention. You see that along
my
the
wardrobe.
sleeve there is a small streak of red on the back of her arm.
Wait, let me see your arm for a second.
Ew, no, don't touch me.
Please? Please let me have this.
Why?
Let me have this!
Jesus! Chad, she's screaming at me!
Chad's just
Alright.
like at this point chilled out after punching. He's just
Chad,
like
man.
he
Defend your
blinks,
lady.
but he blinks out of sync. His eyes are just red.
Ruth grabs Stacy's arm
Ah, Jesus!
and like gets a closer look at the streak.
Ugh.
You see that even though it does have snow and things along it, you touch it and you can see that it is a very thick substance. It's definitely not nail polish, and you look at it and it reminds you of blood.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this isn't nail polish.
What else could it be then, Ruth?
Alright, let me do a quick experiment. Hand me your nail polish, Stacy.
Okay. Like, Stacey's gonna, like, go into her purse.
I assume you have it on you at all
Of course
times.
she fucking does. Stacey's going into her purse and getting her nail polish. Here.
Alright, I like dab a bit of it on like one of my other fingers that doesn't have blood on it, like on the opposite hand. Do these smell similar to you? Smell my fingers.
Ew,
It just
no.
suddenly hit me how weird this is.
Oh my god, someone else smell her fingers. I'm not doing it.
Would someone
Well,
like to
it
smell
has to
Ruth's
be you.
fingers?
I will smell those fingers.
Alright, fine.
You bring
Take what I
yourself
can
over and
get.
you sniff,
Do we have a
sniff,
quote bot
sniff.
for this?
Roll me for your focus.
Rolling for my terrible, terrible focus.
We need to put these quotes somewhere.
You need me to focus,
I
bro?
got a 12.
Oh.
They definitely smell different.
Well, I will grant you this, they're not the same. They must be different brands.
Oh my fucking god. This is blood!
What?
Are you telling me that the nail polish within her purse had blood in it?
Oh my god, are my nails covered in blood? Ruth, don't do
Sudden
this.
shift to like the actor that portrays my character in a scene in an interview. I didn't really get along with the character's intelligence, but I thought that if I really wanted to embody who he was, I'd have to give up to the insanity. Just like, yeah, I mean, like he was very dumb, and I think that's the key thing to take away.
At this point, Ruth is probably considering just walking out the door with no jacket on and waiting for the elements to take her.
Jesus.
Ruth, do you want
Jesus
to go
fuck.
outside? Do you want to go out and investigate the nail polish?
Yeah, she'll put on a jacket and just walk out to check out the nail polish.
Ruth, where are you going? What about my girl's nails?
Whoa!
Oh, God!
Yeah, I don't know. Write a letter to the company or something.
Oh my god.
All right.
So,
can
I don't mean
read,
to
right?
detract.
Yeah. Good.
Have any of y'all seen my board?
No, baby, I haven't seen your board. You had it like a couple days ago.
I know, right?
Oh my god, where could it be?
I don't know. I thought it was in the room, but it wasn't.
Oh no.
I was lighting
Well, at
up
least it's
earlier
got
and I
my
just
pot.
noticed it wasn't there.
This is
At
too
least
many
it's-
coincidences all at once. Now
Yeah.
I've come to think that your board was taken by the same person who rolled the nail polish out the door.
So Ruth,
What?
Yes.
you leave the you leave the lodge while they're all deciding the great board and nail polish caper.
That means if somebody's taking items that are important to each of us, such as Stacy's nail polish and Chad's board,
Her barrel of nail polish.
Yes.
they'll be coming for us next, and then they'll strike us down when we're at our weakest. Our morality stolen from us. I'm saying things at this point. Cut me off.
Yeah, Ruth just leaves like
So
halfway
Ruth-
through that.
Oh god.
Ruth,
Should
you
we,
follow
like-
you
should we
follow
maybe
the
go with her?
footsteps in the snow. As you follow the footsteps in the snow that they had left behind, you bring yourself over to a large, long streak of red that they had started following into the woods. As you
Okay.
head in that direction, you notice the large pool This big circle of red, this deep red that's in the snow. You look at it and you see that there may even be something in it.
So, like, when you say something, is it like a body or something smaller than that?
The snow is so packed on top of this thing, you're not sure, but there are lumps in the snow.
Can I grab like a loose stick?
Whether they all be together or not, it's something larger than just like little things. It's something large.
Could I like grab like a loose stick or something that probably got blown over in the storm and like kind of poke at it a little bit, see if I can figure it out?
You look around and you find a bit of debris from the storm. You find a stick that has been slightly frozen over because of the wetness and the cold of the area. You grab it. You don't have any gloves on, so you're like, this isn't the most comfortable thing to poke things with, but you grab it and you start jabbing at this thing, and you're feeling a very, very squelchy and squishy sensation as you're poking it.
Oh.
Ew. Can I like, try and like turn it over or like...
You try to push it over. The largest part of it is too heavy for you with your -4.
Oh no.
But you are able to move a smaller bit of it. As you do this, it rises up from where it's laying. At this point, you can't very well see what it is that you're moving, but below what you moved, you see an imprint of a hand.
Oh, so this might actually be a body.
This could potentially be a body.
Ruth doesn't know whether she's more shocked at the dead body or that anyone could mistake this for nail polish and soup.
What kind of nail polish and soup have they been eating and using?
Apparently not much.
Like, she has so many questions.
How dare you? It's a very logical conclusion. Got it.
Yeah, can she like just go fuck it, wade in a little bit and see if she can find like an ID or something?
You want to try to get closer to the body?
Well, now I don't.
I was gonna say you're like fucking putting your like fingerprints all over the body.
Yeah, you know what? She thinks better of that idea, and despite how stupid everyone else is, it would be better to have them at least witness what's going on, rather than just coming back covered in blood.
So do you want to go at first and go back and tell them?
Yeah, she'll go back to the lodge and try her best to explain what is going on.
Well,
Okay,
while you're going back to explain what's going on, while you were gone, of course, explaining the great caper that is happening between Rad, Chad, and Benjamin as Benjamin's putting all the clues together. Stacy, you watched as Ruth left. As you're listening to Chad and Benjamin talk about the true culprit behind all of this and trying to figure out who would steal the soup, the board, and the nail polish, because the soup is a part of this as well.
Soup is very important. We have to know.
You notice Ruth coming back.
Hi, Ruth. So, it was nail polish, right?
She just like stares at her like, no, we established that. What kind of nail polish have you been using?
I don't know. I just buy it and put it on my nails.
Yeah, no, it was not nail polish, nor was it soup.
Was it my board?
Was it his board?
Was your board a viscous red liquid spread across the snow?
Was it one of my opponents meeting an untimely but expected demise?
What is viscous?
That is somehow the smartest suggestion any of you have made.
Yeah!
It's got cool tiger on it.
Is that what viscous means? Does viscous mean cool tiger? If so, then she totally found your board.
That's gotta be it.
Ruth, you found his board?
Thank you.
Ruth just like takes a step outside, slams her head into the snow, and screams.
In the end, it was too much for her.
Jesus. Oh my
In
god,
any
are
case-
you
Oh my
okay?
god.
So
Ruth,
there's
why did you
been-
do that? Why are you such a freak?
There's a dead body outside. There's a fucking dead body outside!
Oh my god!
Friends,
What?
hold your silliness. Now is not the time. For now, we must deal with the fact that there has been an accident of some nature.
Wait, you mean like in one of the movies?
Like in one of the movies.
What kind of accident?
Radical.
Can you tell us more about the blood? Because we clearly did not inspect it due to our obsession with the missing soup.
My fucking god. Well, there was a lot of it, and there was what I'm pretty sure is a body in the blood.
Oh my god.
I
Have you
think we
discerned
should
who-
all put on, like gloves and winter gear and go check it out.
Why? Why don't we just call the police? This isn't any of our business.
Which we
Cha-
so did.
I mean, do we know by this point that like no one can get in the road, or
You're pretty sure because this has been a very powerful storm. The power has gone out several times. The power is not actually on right now. And you do see that the roads are completely covered up and there are debris everywhere. It would take the police a while to get here, if they could even make it today.
Question.
Yes.
You said there's 11 people here. When you said that, like way back, did that mean besides us or including us?
There are 11 people here, including you.
Okay.
Well,
So-
10 probably
Say to
now.
someone.
So
We
there
should
are
say to, like,
4
the
other people
receptionist.
among us.
We should say to someone. We should say to like the receptionist or someone who can tell someone. I don't want to
Yeah.
deal with this. I'm just Stacy.
You guys
No,
do
no,
know
no, no.
Ruth
that
just
you
like takes
guys
the
do know
opportunity to
that
slap the shit out of
Oh
Stacy.
god.
you guys
Ruth,
do
what
know
the
that
fuck?
among the
Calm
people.
the fuck down, you stupid bitch!
Hot.
You guys do know that among the people that are here, there is one person who still works at the lodge here.
Okay.
There is a receptionist here, and he is stationed on the first floor.
We should go tell him. We should go tell the receptionist guy like about it.
Do you guys want to inspect the
To
body
be clear, we're
yourself? Do you
telling
want
him
to-
about the body, not the fucking nail polish.
We should also maybe tell him about Chad's board. Other things are happening too besides your problems, Ruth.
This is not my personal problem.
I believe we should go retrieve the body, or at least investigate it as well.
Ew, you're gonna touch it?
We should
Yes.
probably let the receptionist know, like, if nothing else, before we go disturbing a crime scene. In all likelihood, that body's probably one of the other guests here. There's only a couple. We should see if any of them are missing.
Yes.
You seem
We
to
shall
know an
find-
awful lot about this all of a sudden, Ruth.
I feel like you guys don't
Wait,
know
there's a
enough.
dead
It's
body?
problem.
Chad's like, wait, there's a dead body.
Alright, you go tell them that we know for certain that at least we 4 did not commit this crime. In the meantime, I will get on my
Shut up.
outside clothes, including my warm pants this time, and I shall go retrieve the body.
Don't go yourself.
You know, let me help you, bruh.
Yeah,
Alright,
show
Chad,
him.
you come with me. You're a swell guy.
Me and Ruth
Even
will
though
go
you
and
just
try and
punched
find
me
the
in the
awesome
face.
guy.
Dude.
When you receive a man's right hook, you learn a lot about him. I learned that you're high as a kite, and I dig it.
How are you
Yeah,
guys
dude.
okay with each other already?
Ruth, leave them alone. They
Wanna
can
go
go
get high
and
later?
have their bro time.
He was clear. She was clearly cheating on you, Chad. That's still a thing.
Ruth!
I mean, in all the excitement of the dead body, I feel like we're really missing the big picture that Stacy's a cheating bitch.
Okay, you know what? I don't even want to go find the receptionist with you. I'm gonna find it all by myself. And then she storms off
In the wrong direction.
in the wrong direction.
That one.
Chad, you have my honor as the world's
Went to the
foremost
basement.
Olympic skier that I did not commit any hanky-panky with your girl.
Alright, I'll believe you.
God damn it!
This -3 really makes me believe you. Can I just let everyone know
The
we have
worst
had
puppets ever.
2 nat 1s Both of them have ended up in the negatives.
And both of them were mine.
Outstanding.
No,
Yes,
one of them
now-
was Lucky McBenny.
What?
Now, Chad and I, Lucky McBenny, the two people most suited to go investigate a body, shall do so.
I feel like Ruth in no way would trust them to not destroy the crime scene and follows them.
Okay, so the three of you are going to go and try to retrieve the body.
Ooh, I'm about to get
And or
murdered on
investigate
my
the crime
own.
scene.
Sorry,
While
say
that
again.
happens, Stacy, you're wanting to go and find the receptionist.
Yes.
Okay. With that being said, I believe we
Should
are
I,
going
like-
to have the three of you start going and getting dressed in some warmer clothes, since that's what Benjamin said he wanted to do. And with that, Stacy, you start making your way through the lower floors of the lodge.
Okay.
As you do so, you make your way into the small little kitchen area of the lodge, and you notice that there is a bit of a smell coming from here. However, almost immediately after you step into the room, all of the lights in the room go off. It's another power outage.
Hello?
You do see, because it is daylight at least, that there is somebody over by the stove. They kick the stove and they just go, "Damn it!"
Are you okay?
The person looks back. As they do, they kind of walk away from the back of the place. They walk into the light. You see the receptionist.
Hi, I was looking for you. Oh my god.
He does
I'm
not,
so lucky.
He looks at you kind of with a bit of an angry look. And from what you can tell, that's kind of his neutral face. The entire time you guys have been here, this person, at least while you guys have been trapped here, has looked very unpleasant the entirety of your little vacay. Whenever you guys showed up, he was fine. He was like, "Oh, let me help you with your bags. Let me do this. Let me do that." Ever since everybody evacuated, leaving him here basically by himself to wait on all of you, he has been not in the greatest of moods.
Oh.
As he
I'm
stares forward
sad
to
that the
you,
power
you're not.
is
The power's out too.
What was that?
Go. I'm sad that the power is out too, but you should try and turn your frown upside down.
I'm sad the power is out too. He just kind of lets out a little bit of a. What do you want?
Okay, so this is gonna sound crazy, but this girl, Ruth, I would say friend, but she's not really my friend because she's kind of a weirdo and a loser, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, she's like here, and I know her, and
apparently,
Okay,
But
stop. Can you mute yourself real quick?
Shit.
Yeah, because that was like a really like out of sync one there.
Oh shit, sorry.
So
Okay.
no, that's fine. I just couldn't
better?
hear what you were saying.
Okay. So yeah, so this loser Beth that I just, happen to know, apparently there's like a dead body in the woods. And I'm not sure what to do about it. So I want to tell you so that it's not on me anymore. Okay.
A dead body in the woods.
Yeah. I mean, at first I thought it was soup, and then me and this other guy thought that it was nail polish, but apparently it's a dead body.
Roll me for your luck.
Oh my god.
Yes!
Oh fuck. Please don't fuck me over. Wow. Yeah.
Shit.
He looks to you, and luckily enough for you, you haven't really cried wolf or anything to him the past couple of days. You haven't really like gotten on his nerves too awful much. You haven't asked him for too much. He's looking at you, and he just gives a bit of a sigh. He's like, all right, I'll bite. Where's it at?
There's like a trail of soup. I mean blood. I mean nail polish. I mean blood from the door to where it is. So and like footprints. Like I think everybody else went to go check it out. So like yeah, it should be super easy to find.
I heard a commotion this morning. Somebody had went outside. He just kind of rubs the back of his head. He looks back at the breakfast he was in the middle of making. Damn power outage.
I know it sucks.
He looks back to you. All right, leave me there.
Okay. And then she'll like walk back to where the like front door.
You start making your way back to the main area. Just as Benny, you come back down after putting on your warm pants.
My incredibly puffy outfit. I hope I look like a series of pillows.
You have your fluffy ski outfit.
Yes, I'm ready. Would you believe it's only the second time I've ever had to wear this?
Dude.
Oh.
Chad, you're here. You're here with some slightly warmer clothes. Ruth, you've put on some actual boots. And Ruth, you can come on. You can come off of mute.
Oh yeah, you can unmute yourself now, baby.
Oh shit. I can speak again.
Yay.
Yay.
You guys all come. You guys have all came back around as the three of you have made your way back here. Stacy has brought back the receptionist.
I thought you guys had all left.
Like I mentioned to everybody, like the receptionist has been kind of the whole he's been kind of a party pooper ever since the whole being stranded here, left for dead kind of thing. What's happening? Whenever you guys first showed up, he was just a normal receptionist, like, welcome, here's your room, blah 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 blah. But ever since the past couple of days, he's been very angry and very short-tempered. I would like to ask everybody who is not Stacy to please roll me their luck.
Oh my god.
Oh no. I asked for too many
I
munchies.
got a nat 1.
Oh my god.
You're the lucky one.
He got a nat 1. He looks over at Chad and Benjamin and just narrows his eyes at the two of you.
Acha, dude, how's it going?
Neither of you are sure why he's mad. Maybe it's because Benjamin, has been eating a big majority of food. Maybe it's because Chad is always coming downstairs high in his boxers. Who knows? It could be a myriad of reasons.
Cha, dude.
But he looks at the two of you with very narrowed eyes, like, oh, it's these two. But Ruth, he's fine with you.
Of course he is.
Cool.
As he looks over, he sees those two looking ready to go outside. Instead of looking to them or Stacy, he just looks over at Ruth, just like, "You guys found a body?"
Yeah, it's over here.
He gives a sigh and puts on a jacket and just kind of walks after you guys. The five of you make your way outside, following the trail of soup.
And that's when we kill the receptionist.
Oh my god, no!
Turns out all four of you were the killer.
We were just pretending to be stupid.
Or maybe only one of you is the killer.
Does the receptionist have a name?
What was that?
Does the receptionist have a name?
The receptionist has not told anyone his name.
As we're on our way there, I'd like to inquire as we're on our way there. Friend who mans this lovely, lovely resort, what should I call you when addressing you, sir?
He seems to ignore you.
It must be hard to pronounce.
Can Ruth look over and see if he's wearing a name tag?
You can definitely look and see if he's wearing a name tag.
Is he?
Yes. The name tag says Etgen.
Etgen?
Yep.
You're right.
It was hard to pronounce.
E-T-G-E-N.
Etgen.
Etgen.
It's probably his last name.
Oh, okay.
She's not gonna tell anybody.
I was gonna say no one's addressing it, or we're just gonna keep going.
The less she has to interact with these people, the more sane she'll be.
And thank you, Izuki. I did name him. Anyway.
Oh.
It's like code for Blue didn't name him. I named everybody.
Yeah, how dare you?
There's only 6 NPCs I had to name. One of them's
Easiest
dead,
one.
so I'm just calling him Mr. Body at this point.
I marked him down in my notes as Deado.
Deado.
I
name
thought we
is
could call
Deado
him
Body.
6 AM Jim.
Anyway. You do see that he is wearing a name tag. As the 5 of you make your way to the trail of soup, you see the pool of nail polish that has the arm slightly moved away from the bottom, revealing a handprint below. As he goes over to it, he kind of covers his mouth like, "Oh, he wasn't expecting you guys to actually be telling the truth."
Here it is. The scene of the most heinous murder.
It's heinous. It's heinous and gross.
Dude.
Chad, how would you describe this?
Way gnarly, dude.
No, it's most heinous. Oh my god.
Jesus
That's what I said.
God damn it, Chad.
It is most totally heinous.
Dude.
As the 4 of you just start talking about the body, the three of you have not seen the body that had been slightly moved before. I would like for each of you to please roll me for your focus, including you again, Ruth.
All right.
Wait, who's all rolling?
All of you roll me for your focuses, please.
Oh.
No, why didn't that work?
Dude. I rolled a 19.
Oh shit!
Shit.
Everyone else is looking at it like, that's interesting. What? I found this out, and I'm just like, I'm
Probe
still
the
not
what?
100% convinced it's not nail polish.
I'm
Right,
not.
Chad, you know
I
exactly.
think it's-
Looking at this person and like looking at the size of their hand and like looking at the little bit of clothes you can see from the moved hand. You know, for some reason, just with that little bit of information, you know exactly who this person is.
Dude, it's
On the first day, whenever you guys had got stuck here, you got high with this guy.
Oh, dude.
Oh no, bro!
Most heinous.
Most heinous, bro.
Most absolutely heinous.
You got high with this guy. He was a dude who was getting ready for the ski competition.
Oh no!
I was right! Your last mistake was attempting to compete against me. I'm so sorry.
You know this
Whoa,
guy.
dude.
This is Mr. Boddy.
No, Mr. Boddy!
Fucking course, it's his name.
Mr. Boddy.
Deado Boddy.
Bodhi.
No! This dude was totally radical, man.
He had you had your stash. He brought his stash. He gave you some of his stash. Dude, this guy was cool.
Dude, he had some sick shit. It was
Maybe.
great.
Maybe he took your board and tried to flee with it, but could not brave the elements.
And then exploded?
Nah, dude.
It's a dangerous world,
Makes
Ruth.
sense.
It's a dangerous world.
And then exploded.
Oh my god.
Like, that's
Perhaps
a lot of blood for
And-
just dying out in the snow.
And then he was mauled by a snow bear.
It was probably a bear. Like he's out in the wilderness. It was the bear. Don't have to worry
So
about it. It was the bear.
Izuki has Izuki in the chat has actually drew the 4 of you,
Oh,
my
no.
God.
Oh my God,
I've
yes.
seen it and it's great and I love
Give me
it.
this.
and
Give
he
me this.
and he drew Benjamin as Armstrong.
Ah! Where is it? Give me this
Where is
picture.
it?
Where is it?
I will put it in the general chat so you guys can see it.
It is a little hard to see, but it's great.
Yes! This makes sense.
This
Oh
seems
my
about
God.
right.
Oh my god, it's so accurate.
Although technically speaking, don't you have a foreign muscle?
Dude, I love it.
Logan, don't you
Yeah,
have
technically-
foreign muscle?
technically Chad,
Names.
I will say, Izuki, technically Chad has more muscle than Benjamin.
Oh shit.
But that's fine.
Although
This is
the voice
perfectly
does
fine.
fit that picture.
I fucking love Ruth. She's so mad.
She hates
Ruth reminds me of
everybody.
Daria.
I was thinking that. Ruth reminds me of Daria, yeah.
Fucking
Oh.
Daria.
Oh my
She
God.
kind of does.
Yeah.
If anybody
I
from the
love
chat
it.
would like to see the thing, it is in the live chat in my Discord, which is linked below in both Twitch and YouTube. Either way,
Oh.
continuing. But no, you know this person. You know this to be Boddy. As the receptionist goes forward, he's just kind of having his mouth covered. He
Oh,
like
you
brought,
got-
he
no,
has
oh,
his
no.
jacket up a little bit. A bit of an ascot that he has is like covering his mouth.
Bodhi, no.
This is definitely something. Do you think he froze out here or got attacked by some sort of animal?
I mean, if he was attacked by a bear, wouldn't there be bloody paw prints or something?
A very hygienic bear.
Bears can like
And again,
climb
both Stacy and Benjamin, you know that there were no footsteps. Whether
Bears
they got
can,
covered
like,
up by the
climb
snow or
trees.
what, you did not see any
Probably.
sort of footprints leading off in this direction.
What we need is a professional detective.
Maybe it was a bird.
A bird.
Yeah.
What?
Like
A
maybe
bird?
Yeah. Maybe a bird flew down, attacked him, and flew away.
And exploded him.
Yes.
Please, just describe this bird you're imagining.
I don't know, like maybe like a fucking giant eagle or something.
Maybe
Or
it
like
was
a
bird flu.
pterodactyl.
A pterodactyl.
Maybe it was a pterodactyl. You don't know.
You get a lot of those pterodactyls
dude.
where you're from.
Oh,
We're from
actually,
the
wait
same
a minute.
place, Ruth.
Oh, so you do remember me.
Zooms in on my guy's eyes very suddenly. That would make perfect sense. Our knowledge of pterodactyls is only based upon the remains that we found. We have no idea if they have the ability to cause humans to explode. If it was a pterodactyl, there's no way that we could deny it.
Oh my
See? It was a pterodactyl.
Of course.
I'm so smart. This
The
case was
receptionist just
solved
stares
by
over at all of
Casey.
you.
There is 0 chance this RP doesn't end with a murder-suicide.
Poor Ruth. Oh.
Damn, I've been too loud. Oh, shit.
He just stares back at the four of you. We should probably let that police officer know.
There's a police officer here?
Upon him
Police
saying
here?
that, you do know that there was somebody who called themselves a security officer among the 11 that are still here.
Oh.
Hmm.
He died.
She wasn't a police officer per se. Maybe looked more like a mall cop, but
Oh god.
you do know that there was somebody here, and they were they were slightly armed. They tried taking charge the first day until they realized that the entire lodge was full of large muscle potheads and.
Hold on. The police officer? Why, I remember them.
Oh no.
Oh,
I
god.
gave them a firm handshake and told them they were doing their job well.
Oh.
I need to go back and hide my pot.
Oh shit.
Well,
Unless I didn't.
upon saying that you gave them that firm handshake, how about you roll me for your muscle?
I was gonna be like, unless I didn't, and someone wants to tell me that I didn't.
No, you guys are perfectly able to say what you guys had done in the past 2 days, like I told you.
I rolled a nat 20 on that.
Oh God!
Well,
Unfortunately, I broke his arm, so he won't be much help to us.
They were, and you do remember this interaction very fondly with this officer. They apparently thought you had a very nice and firm handshake.
oh.
They were impressed.
Good.
Do you want to go and try to find this officer? You know that she just like you guys has a room up in the halls.
Yes, I will try to find her.
Mm-hmm.
Who I now know is her.
You start making your way. You start making your way back as the receptionist just kind of like looks at it, not wanting to tamper with it at all, telling you guys, if there is an officer, no matter how much of an officer they are, they would probably know what to do with a body.
I gotta go back and hide the weed.
Like to go to their room and give a rat-a-tat-tap on their door.
All right. So, Chad, you go back to your room to try to hide your weed, even though they have no reason to go into your room.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus.
You take the bong back from Ruth. I'm kidding. I'm guessing Ruth put it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, she probably immediately set it down after you gave it to her.
Jesus.
Gotta hide it.
Stacy, do you want to go back with them and try to find this cop?
I'm gonna follow my boyfriend.
Okay.
I'm gonna go find the cop.
All right. Does anybody else remember any sort of interaction they had with the cop in the last 2 days?
I'm trying to remember if I've had a positive or a negative one.
I was gonna say, I think we avoided the
Well, I
cop.
mean, that's all. That all depends on roles, man.
Oh shit.
Do you
I think
remember
Rosie
interacting
was
with this
pretty
cop at all?
focused on one person in particular.
Do you remember interacting with the cop at all, Chad?
No, not really.
All right.
Probably
What
been
about
too
you?
high.
I think we saw him, and it was like a situation of, oh shit, it's the cop. We should avoid her.
What about you, Ruth? Do you have any interactions with this police officer?
Probably not, unless she like somehow got in the way of her stalking Stacy and Chad.
It's just like, what are you doing? Nothing. Shut up!
No,
Runs off.
Nothing.
Yeah. Let's say there was an instance where she was like I don't know, hiding behind a tree or something, watching them ski, and the cop's just like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Go ahead and roll me for your luck then, if that's the case.
All right.
Dude, and then fucking the cop comes up to Stacy and Chad to be all like, I think that girl might be following you. Like, keep an eye out. And we're like, we didn't do anything. What are you talking about? Bye. And they'll run away.
Well, it turns out, Ruth, that during that little interaction where she had saw you watching these two who were skiing, she kind of maybe she saw something on your face that maybe showed off that you were like looking at someone with some sort of fire in your eyes, and she just kind of gave you a thumbs up and walked away.
Oh my god.
You go get him.
That's outstanding.
You get him, girl. You got this. You go
So
and
what,
make
does
that
the
guy
cop think that
yours.
Ruth is in love with Chad too.
Oh, yes. I want it.
As two of you head up to try to find the cop, and two of you head off to try to hide the weed. You make your way up. You make your way up into the second floor hallways, looking for said police officer there, Lucky Ben. As you do, you look around at all the different rooms that are up here. You're not entirely sure which one they're in. The receptionist didn't really seem to remember either. Maybe because, again, the past 2 days he's just not been paying attention at all.
Time to start randomly knocking on doors.
Do you want to randomly knock on doors, or do you want to try to remember which door it is? One's going to be a luck roll, one's going to be a focus roll.
Which one do you think?
Wow.
The luck one!
So go ahead and roll me for your
I got
luck.
a 12!
You
Oh
got
my
a 12!
God. You rolled a
You rolled a
2.
2.
Oh my god.
Yay!
You knock on one of the doors. As you knock on one of the doors, you hear a very groggy sound. You hear, 1 minute.
Does it sound like a woman's
Okay.
voice?
Just a very low and hoarse voice. It does not sound like a woman's voice.
Yo, she was getting laid.
As the door opens, you hear the latch on it as if this person had like all the locks locked. As he just kind of peeks out from the door, not even opening the door fully. Yeah, what is it? You guys
I don't
look and
suppose-
you see a very creepy looking dude looking back at you.
You're
He has
not
really
the lady
long,
security
messy
person.
hair. Only one of his eyes is being shown. Every time you guys have seen him throughout the weekend, you've seen that he's had like a hunchback the entire time. Like he's always hunched over. He doesn't look like he should have been here for any kind of vacation.
I just like see him in his decrepit state, and my role model instincts kick in as an athlete. And I'm like, it's never too late to turn your life around, sir. You can be saved.
What
Oh
With
my
a
God.
steady workout diet, you can get onto the top of your game.
What are you
Workout
talking
diet.
about?
Workout diet. One sec, I'm
Yes.
gonna go back and think about what I just said.
I'm sorry, I think we have the wrong room.
Wait, is the lady security officer in there? Maybe, maybe, possibly.
I thought you went with
Are
Chad.
you here?
Damn it!
It.
I wonder what the others are doing, Chad. What are you doing?
I'm the weed.
No, you just hear her like putting away the weed. Do you think she's in here?
Me.
Oh,
As
like
he
your
just kind
son.
of looks at you
talk to him.
at you guys, you run off to get your diet and exercise plan. And Ruth is just left there with this guy just like peeking through the crack in the door, just looking, just like, no, there's no one in here but me.
I'm sorry to bother you. What was your name?
Mason.
Mason.
And you?
Ruth.
Well,
I have to say it that way. It's the proper pronunciation.
Sorry,
There's
I can't
4
be of
U's all
help.
written with italics.
You come back with your diet and exercise plan. Because you have them all
diet-
printed.
Just like put them through the crack in the door, just immediately, just before you can properly close it. I know things look bleak now. You feel heavy. You feel like you're never going to accomplish much. But just know that with a good helping of random chance and lots of corn, you can be on your feet in no time.
Throughout all of this, like, Ruth is just like softly slamming her head into the wall.
He just
gonna
like
end up
looks
killing
back at
herself,
you.
dude.
Listen, I'm not usually like this.
Nay?
I've been feeling really sick.
Is there anything that we can get you?
I've already asked the receptionist for medicine, but he said there wasn't any inside this building. I could use some soup, maybe.
I'm so sorry to tell you this. but there's been soup murder.
No,
What?
no.
Oh my God.
It's inconclusive now, and we're trying to identify it.
There was no soup murder.
There may have been a barrel of soup taken
I
from us. Taken
Cannot
and fried.
emphasize that enough.
Its expiration date was in 2 days. 2 days till retirement.
You are a very confusing man.
I don't really understand what you're saying, but if
No one
there's
does.
anything else I could ask, could you find out how to get the lights back on? It's getting rather cold in here.
You've got it, Mason. And if we find any soup, we'll be sure to share some with you.
Thank you. He kind of just
Are you?
like steps back a bit and like slowly closes his door.
What a good boy.
I mean,
As time goes on, I'm imagining myself more and more to just be All Might.
oh my god.
I was just
Unfortunately,
thinking that,
you didn't
God
find
damn
the
it.
cop's room. You found Mason's room, the sick, hunchbacked, long-haired and beard man who you're not really sure why he even came here.
Can I roll focus or luck or?
Go ahead and roll me for your focus. See if you remember where the cop had stayed at the time before, because you would have seen her at least walking around.
I feel like all the banging of her head that she's doing, she should have been rolling focus for staying conscious.
I mean, that would be non-lethal damage.
That's what I'm saying.
I rolled a 15.
Oh shit.
You're pretty sure that maybe you saw her enter the last door, but you're not entirely sure if that was her room that she went in. But you're pretty sure you've seen her go
Police!
in the last room before.
Oh my god.
Just scream, help, police.
You want to do that?
You're actually doing that?
Fuck it.
Oh god.
All right, roll me for your luck.
Help!
For your luck. For your
Oh,
luck.
for luck?
Oh, for
Sorry, I
luck.
couldn't hear.
Yep, roll me for your luck.
Uh-oh.
And
Not great.
can I get a luck roll from our luckiest person alive, please?
Absolutely, positively.
Jesus.
Luck, go! 15.
You hear just a bash hit one of the doors, like on the far end of the hall. As the door gets bashed, you hear a hurt noise as something behind the door kind of collapses. Just as you yell out, "Police, help!"
Quickly,
like-
to aid!
Yeah, let's go check it out.
You make your way to the second to last door. As you do, you see the door actually come. You see the door actually come flying open as what appears to be a woman puts on a jacket over top of her bra and underwear because she's rushing up the door because somebody just called for her aid. She looks at you guys. You see a woman in a police jacket staring back. She looks up to our luckiest man alive, Benjamin, and looks over to Ruth, remembering Ruth's voice, and just stares daggers at Benjamin. Is this man bothering you?
Oh, shit.
Yes, but that's not really the issue. I don't want to lie to a cop. I don't want to go to prison.
She looks at
We
the
would
two of
like to
you.
report a death.
What's going on?
There's a dead body outside, and we feel like we should inform you as of such.
She goes into her room and slams the door behind her.
Are you going to get dressed?
A second later, she comes back out. She has put on a belt that has a holster on it. You see that there is some sort of device on said holster. Whether it's a gun or something else, who knows? It doesn't look like a gun.
Is she properly dressed otherwise, or did she just put the holster on?
No
she just put a belt on, and the belt
Are we
seems
looking
to
at
have
someone
a
in their
holster
bra?
for what appears to be a taser.
Oh.
Like, are we staring at someone that is just wearing a bra, underwear, police jacket, and a holster with a gun?
No, they have pants.
That's
Damn
hot.
it!
Oh, man.
That's why they fell over against the door, because they were trying to quickly put on their pants.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, I see that you're ready. Shall we go investigate the body?
Yes, please, show me.
Yes.
All right, let's go.
Ruth, you start making your way back down the hall, just as Rad, Chad, and Stacy, you guys have put away, you have found a secure hiding place. Roll me for both of your focuses.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
See how good of a hiding place you found in your room.
Oh my god.
I think it's pretty good.
I think it's even better.
You guys were
This
able to find a nice little nook behind the television that's propped up on the TV.
Nice.
As if somebody had carved out this little nook just for hiding things.
Shaw, dude.
Oh my god, we should.
Wait, was there anything there
here.
before we hit the weed?
Nope.
Okay.
I'm picturing if they had like Nat 1, they like ripped out a potted plant and stuck the bong in it, thinking like, yeah, it's a cactus.
It's fine, it's fine.
I need to be quieter, but
One of those exotic.
They put
glass
it up in the light fixture, so then when the lights actually do come on, there's just a shadow on the ground. They look up and there's something in it.
of like a single leaf.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like a giant pot signal.
Oh,
Oh no, my secret identity has been revealed.
yeah.
I'm really pot man.
By the way, did we see a name tag or anything on the police officer?
If you would like to roll in for your focus, you can see if you could have saw something.
I will do that too.
No, that's good.
Pot man, boy wonder.
Unfortunately, Benny, like she didn't look like she was. You looked for some sort of a name tag, but unfortunately, you just saw that she hadn't quite gotten the shirt over herself all the way yet. So you were kind of distracted. Ruth, you looked at it and you're pretty sure there was a name tag, but you didn't have time to read it. Before she was just like, "Lead me away." Lead me to the body. They start going down the stairs just as Chad and Stacy, you guys look out and see them all going down the stairs. The pod is safe.
Thank God.
Do you guys want to head down with them, or do you guys want to do anything else?
What are you guys doing?
We're going to take this lovely lady, to see the body.
Oh my God, baby, do you want to go? I want to go.
Cha,
Oh my God, let's go.
Cha.
We're coming.
If we have this many people going, then I believe I will actually stay behind and try to alert more people within the cabin as to the heinous crime that has been committed here.
I got you.
God.
I also need to look for soup for my new dear friend.
Oh.
All right, at some point I should try and fix the lights or something.
You're gonna leave me and Chad with a cop, really?
God damn it, I need to chaperone like every character. This can't work.
I'm fine.
If I focus enough, it'll work. Don't worry.
It'll be fine.
Oh my God. Yeah, Ruth is gonna try and fix the lights.
Okay. Cool. You're gonna try to go down to the basement.
Yeah.
You stop just as you guys get to the staircase going down. You remember what Mason said about, turning on the lights and turning on the electricity because, well, you don't want to leave somebody who's sick to be in like 0-degree weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just kind of sigh. You look off to the basement. You look back to Stacy and Chad, and they're like, we'll take her to the body. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Also, is the receptionist still at the body?
Yes.
Oh,
okay,
shit.
so
he had
we
stayed
have
behind
two
outside.
Competent adults there. That should be fine.
All right.
Well,
It's not gonna be fine. It's not gonna be fine at all.
No.
Chad and Stacy, do you guys want to lead her out there? Or do you want to just tell her where to go and go somewhere else, or what do you guys want to do?
Probably gonna like lead her out there, like with the footprints and the.
Cha.
Cha.
I'm just gonna say that from now on.
That's just what you
perfect.
say, man.
Chad. And he's saying his name the entire time.
Oh my
Chad.
God. He's like a fucking
Chad.
Chad.
It's supposed to be Cha, dude, but he's just saying Chad. Chad.
All right.
I love him.
As one of you stays upstairs to try to alert more people and find some soup, one of you heads down into the basement to try to fix the electricity in the house. The other two lead out to the body heading outside. We are going to start off with those heading out to the body. Or Mr. Boddy.
Let's go to Mr. Boddy.
As the two of you lead the officer to Mr. Boddy, the receptionist is still kind of standing there, kind of just staring down at this crime scene. The officer heads there, and she just kind of kneels down, kneeling halfway in the blood-soaked snow. As she's just like looking down, you see that she's probably not entirely used to this stuff, but she's really eager. She's like, maybe this is what'll get me out of the mall and into the actual cops. I don't know.
Aww.
She just looks like she might be a little bit eager to help out with this one. But as she goes to it, she brings her hand over to the arm that was dislodged from the ground and just kind of like starts like, you see that subconsciously, and both of you kind of look at this like, what? She actually goes to like feel for a pulse.
Oh shit.
You're pretty sure there's no pulse.
Yeah.
Yeah. When even Stacy is thinking that.
You're pretty sure that there's no pulse there, but A for effort, I guess.
She knows what to do.
She kind of just like looks back. He's dead.
Well, duh.
She looks back down.
He's like more liquid than person now. Obviously, he's dead.
You do not get to make fun of people's intelligence.
She wasn't there. She doesn't know.
Do any of you know who this person was?
Cha,
No.
dude.
I don't remember him.
He was
It's a him,
Boddy,
right?
man. He
It's
was
a
pretty
him.
cool.
Boddy.
Him, right?
Cha.
One of the skiers, huh?
Cha.
Me and him had a bit of an altercation the first day here.
Really?
Cha.
What happened?
I was getting onto him for a smell coming from his room.
What kind of smell?
Oh,
What
no,
could it have
smell?
been?
He had.
At this moment, I'm, like,
I can't
opening
do it
that
without
door.
making her sound like she's fucking trying her best to play it up. He had illegal substances.
Oh my god, what a monster! Oh no.
What a dick.
What a dick. Looks down at the body. It seems like he's been out here for quite a while. Some of the snow and rain has froze over on him, but there seems to be far too much blood. We won't be able to tell what kind of thing did this to him until we get the snow and ice off of him. Looks back to you guys. She doesn't seem like she's going about things like maybe she knows what she's doing, maybe not. Both of you guys roll me for your wits.
Oh God.
Sure thing.
Well. Fuck.
Hey, I rolled pretty good.
Well.
Rad Chad, she's poking at the body a bit. She's kind of moving it a bit. She looks back to you and she's like, "We should probably get him inside and get the ice off of him." You know, you've seen enough cop dramas and things like that. You're like, maybe she doesn't exactly know what she's doing because usually you would try to preserve the crime scene. But she's been stepping in all the blood snow and like moving the body a bit, and she's looking back to you and the receptionist like, "Help me get the body out."
Jesus.
I don't know what to do. The crime scene has been completely contaminated.
Baby, this isn't one of your shows. She knows what she's doing. It's her job.
But like, show, it's like canon, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, like, this is real life. It isn't TV. Like you know what you're doing, right, lady?
I need help getting the body inside.
I'm sorry. I just realized that I don't know your name. What's your name?
Sorry. I don't really feel like we need to worry about that right now. She looks away, like with just like a frown on her face. She seems like she's embarrassed to say who she is. Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, I'm gonna help her.
I'm just gonna mark down in my notes in all caps, "What are you hiding?"
Don't forget all the O's.
But no,
Yeah, right.
I want to. The thing I'm asking you though, Chad, is: do you want to help her, or do you want to leave, or just leave her to do it herself?
Be right back. I'm just gonna use the bathroom.
It'd be a pretty dick move to just leave her out here. So I'm gonna help.
Okay. So you go over
I don't
there.
wanna
She
touch it.
motions for you to start helping her. She motions to the receptionist to start. He's like, "I don't know about this." And she's like, "I am the law."
Oh my God.
Jesus, bitch, you don't have to yell.
So you grab the feet. He grabs like a bit of the upper area. He puts on gloves. He's obviously like, "I don't want to touch it," but the two of you start like carrying it with her. Like, she has her arms under it.
Jesus.
She's looking like she's helping you guys carry it back.
I'm not touching it. I'm not carrying it. That's gross.
As
Would you
the
like
three
me
of
to
you
roll
start getting it in there, and Stacy comes in after you guys. You guys take the body to the small living area off to the side of the entrance. You find yourselves just kind of off into the where the large TV, and there's a bar, and it's a nice little area. You guys go over, and she just kind of like points to a spot on the rug and just like says to put the body down. The receptionist looks to you and motions to a part of the floor that doesn't have a rug.
Cha, dude.
What do you want to do? Do you want to plop it down on the rug? You want to plop it down on the wood?
I'll do it on the wood.
All right. The two of you put him down on the wood. She looks down at the body. We don't know if this was done by some animal or if it was a murder or a suicide.
It was a pterodactyl. Okay.
Well.
She looks back at you. I should probably roll for her wits as you say that.
Oh my god, yes.
I feel like you can faintly hear Ruth screaming in the distance.
Let's see here.
Oh shit.
You say it was a pterodactyl. She actually for a second puts her hand up to her mouth like she's thinking, and then she's just shakes her head like, no, it can't be. She seems to have given it some thought at the very least, though.
Sutton zoom in on her face. Or could it?
Or maybe.
Maybe.
Yes.
We are near a museum.
Oh
The
my
bones.
God.
Anyway, no.
Jesus.
But no. As she looks at the body, trying her best to find anything on it that is showing what happened to him, she's moving snow and stuff off of him. She looks back to you guys. Perhaps we could use some hot water or something to get the snow and ice to melt faster.
None of the lights are on. It's super cold. Use your fucking head, security girl. Where are we gonna get hot water?
Looks back at Stacy and she just nods. You're right. Sorry, I wasn't.
See, I'm right. I'm right. Fuck.
Cha.
She just nods, and as she walks over to the couch, she takes what appears to be a blanket off of it and starts covering the body with the blanket.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ, she's an idiot.
She doesn't know what she's doing.
For now, this should keep any excess cold off the body. Let's go see if we can turn on the heat.
Oh my god, she's so
Excess cold?
She's stupid.
This is a terrible idea, but we have nothing else to do.
We're all so stupid.
She's gonna destroy the crime scene.
You know what? Let's not put the blanket on just yet. Let's have the smartest person here take a look at the body first. Now that it's out of the
might be
snow.
Cold. It's probably cold. She's right.
Faye, he's dead. He's gonna be cold forever.
Oh my god, that's so sad. Fucking Bay.
He's gonna be cold forever.
So you're gonna stop her from putting the blanket on the body?
Yeah.
She just kind of looks to you. Go ahead and roll me for your wits again, please.
No shit.
Johnny. Did I roll it right? Yes, I did.
She looks to you and she gives a nod. Yes, you're right. She just puts the blanket down beside the body. She looks over to the receptionist. You watch over this in case the killer comes back, or the beast comes back, or
the pterodactyl comes back.
Does something. We'll go try to get the lights on. Inside, the receptionist is like, "Thank God, then I can finish breakfast."
Ew.
And as you guys have brought the body in, got everything situated down here, we're gonna go over to Ruth.
Who is dead?
Ruth, you went downstairs. The murderer was waiting for you and stabbed you 47 times. Or were you the murderer and stabbed yourself? Anyway.
Oh my god!
The game is a fortune.
I just want the audience to ask themselves, what was the reason that Chad stopped them from putting the blanket on there? Maybe it was all part of his plan. Or maybe Stacy didn't want to touch the body so that she wouldn't get any more of her prints on it.
It was to keep off the excess gold. Wait, to keep on. He wants there to be excess gold.
I knew it.
He wants there to be excess
everything.
gold.
I bet there's hardcore drugs buried inside that man's butt cheeks. And if he's warmed up too quickly, then they might be spoiled. Yes.
Yes, of course.
So, Ruth.
I better not be the one to survive this campaign.
I hope I am the one to survive the campaign.
Oh,
Ruth is definitely enjoying this like momentary bit of silence.
Ruth, you make your way down. You make your way down to the basement, and unfortunately, it is very dark down here. However, you do have a cell phone on you, so you can turn on a flashlight of sorts.
Cool.
However, of course, you have no signal in this storm.
Makes sense.
You start looking around down here with your flashlight. You turn the flashlights the flashlight part on. You have about 70% battery right now. As you start looking around the bottom here, you're trying to find anything that looks like some sort of fuse box or some kind of anything like that. Would you like to go ahead and roll me for your focus, please?
18.
18.
Nice.
You look around down here, trying your best to see if you can figure out where any sort of fuse box or something that keeps the power on would be down here. However, you do find something, but you find something not very, well, great. You look off to the wall just above where a switch is. As you notice, there appears to be a fire axe in the wall.
Oh no!
Someone just got a weapon.
Oh my god.
You see a small fire axe in the wall, seemingly cutting straight through two large cords connected to the box below.
If I removed the axe, would I be, would my wits be enough to reconnect the cords?
You have a +10 in your wits.
I'm just checking.
You definitely, if you can find something here to help you, even if you couldn't, you could just be like, hey, I'm like the smartest thing on this mountain, so.
Oh, easily.
I don't know. Pterodactyls might be smart. We don't know anything about their brain size.
I just need to smoke a little dope and I'm good, man.
Can I try and pull out that axe?
You can definitely try to. You look at it just to make sure before you do, though. Roll me for your wits.
Great. It's been sabotaged.
23.
23, dang. You look at it and you're just like, all right. You look around for a second. You make sure to find something. You make sure to find something to cover your hands with. You find actually a pair of gardening gloves that are completely rubber. You're like, okay, now I can probably mess with some electronics.
Excellent.
You find some rubber gloves. I would like you to make sure that you keep this on your sheet. Put it somewhere below your stats. You have obtained a pair of rubber gloves.
Cool.
And just in a second, as you pull this small fire axe out from the wall, you have obtained a small fire axe.
Small.
If you decide to keep it with you.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
I may need to murder one of these guys.
Maybe.
How?
Because you could be the killer.
Don't you have negative muscle?
I mean, maybe I could, drop it from a high place or something. I'm
Never
smart. I can
fear,
figure it
Ruth.
out. Oh, MacGyver this thing.
Should we encounter any do-batters, you need only give me the axe, and I shall hurl it with the strength of a Greek god towards the assailant. And then they shall be assailed. I shall assail them. I shall become the assailer.
Like I always planned to be.
Does that make me stronger than a Greek god?
Like, I end up being the bad guy, and just part of the way through, you see me sabotaging the box for the third time. It's like, oh, hello,
All right, you got me. The jig is up. You see, I'm not the luckiest man in the world. No, Boddy was. And that's why I had to kill him.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Jesus.
He wasn't very
Killed him
lucky in
and
the
took his
end,
luck.
was he?
Are you serious? Nah, I don't know what's going on. I just want lights back. Everything's dark and spooky.
You bring yourself over to the wires that were severed. As you go ahead and roll me another wits, please.
19.
You can definitely do it. It'll take you a little bit of time.
How much time we're talking? Like minutes, hours?
Minutes. As you do already have something sharp, you're kind of like taking bits of the outer wire off so that you can connect the two wires, and you do find that there is a small amount of tape down here because you're in a basement. There's a lot of stuff. As you're going out trying to fix these things, you do make sure to turn off the the switch before you do.
Excellent.
As you go about doing things like here, you begin to feel like, yeah, this is definitely going to work. You connect both of them, you tape them both over, and you switch the switch on. For a second, nothing happens until the light begins to flicker in the basement and then eventually light up. You have fixed the electricity in the house for now.
Yeah.
You hear the heater start up from the other side of the basement, from the basement, and you hear a loud squeaking sound as if it was from a mouse or a rat in the room.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Can I, what's the equivalent of a perception check?
That is your focus.
Focus. Can I roll focus to see if there are any murderers about?
I would like to see if there's any murderers down here. Go ahead, dude.
Any murderers about?
I'd like to roll. For what? To see if any
hijinks are afoot.
That's not great.
I'm rolling to find hijinks.
Oh boy, he rolled
You
a
look
4.
around the area and you're noticing that there is just a small sound coming around here, as if from a wind. You look off toward this high window in the area because you are in the basement. There is a bit of window that is not covered by snow, which is very odd since you guys have just been in a large blizzard. You look out from the window. You notice the window is open, as if somebody have left it open. You look out the window again. There's just no snow around the area, as if somebody have recently used this or have gone in or out of it.
Does the window have like a lock on it that's been, tampered with or just unlocked normally, or?
It looks as if there was a lock on it, but it has been broken.
Ooh. Looks like it was broken from the inside or the outside.
You're not sure. As you look at it, you're pretty sure since the lock was inside that it was probably broken from the inside, but you can't be sure.
Okay, so there's not like a keyhole on the outside of the window?
No.
Okay.
It's just like one of those like, I switched this to the left and now it's locked.
Okay. Gotcha. Alright. I guess I'll try and carefully make my way back upstairs.
You go to head back upstairs. You have your rubber gloves. Would you like to put your rubber gloves away or continue wearing them? For now, I will stow my rubber gloves and axe. Your small axe can definitely be hidden in your jacket. However, you do know that it's going to be very awkward to move with the axe in your jacket.
All right, yeah, it's probably better not to hide the axe.
Maybe you can put it through your two back belt loops of your pants.
Like a badass.
I will do that. I will do that thing.
Nice.
We know that there's a murderer afoot. It only makes sense to keep yourself armed. Nobody would question you.
You put your small axe in your belt loops on your butt.
Gross.
And you will be ready to grab it at any point if you need to.
Cool.
It is at this point, however, visible to anybody who looks.
That's fair. Hiding it would probably be just suspicious.
Okay. They're
That's
like,
fair.
"What are you doing hiding that axe?" You're like, "You found me."
Frankly, anyone that tells you that you can't have that axe is probably the murderer.
That's what I'm saying.
Or you're
And
the
me.
murderer.
Or everyone's the murderer.
Did we all kill this guy? Okay, show of hands. Who killed him? Everybody raises their hand. How did this happen?
At true purpose.
This is like a Hangover sequel where we all murdered a guy after getting drunk and none of us remember it.
Those were some really good drugs that Bodhi brought.
It reminds me of a really old Mondo Media animation where it's like a hardcore crime scene like CSI, and a guy's like dead at like a high class party, and they're like, "We got our best detective on the case. He always solves it. Like, here he is, Detective God," and just God walks in with sunglasses, and he's just like, "All right, I know who the killer is. It was you!" And he like points at a girl, and she starts crying, and he just starts pointing people going, "And you! And you!" And just like everyone starts breaking down and crying. He's like, "The whole of the human race is at fault." And then causes the world to flood over and ascends into the sky.
What the fuck? That's the ending of this RPG.
Wow.
Yes.
It's really funny.
As you were making your way up with your 2 new items in tow, you head up to meet with everybody else who would be on their way down to the basement to help out with the electronics. However, we are going to be heading off to our good friend Benjamin, as he is going to be trying to let other people know what had happened.
Bah. All right, everybody, there's been a death.
We have obtained 1 body and lost 1 Bodhi.
I would like to go around knocking on doors, and if nobody answers, I will enter by force.
Oh no.
I'll go to doors systematically, knock for a period of 2 minutes at 30-second intervals, and then if nobody answers, I will politely inform them, yelling through the door, "Attention! I will be knocking down your door momentarily. If you can hear me, move away. If you're not a bad, then, I don't know, fucking do what I said. If you are a bad, come at me, I'll get you."
You know that on the 2nd floor there are 10 bedrooms.
Oh.
As you go about going to these different rooms, you know that several of them may not be used right now since people are kind of doubling up in some of them. However, going to each of these rooms, you go to the ones that you of course haven't been to yet. Mason's room, he's fine. You already told him that there was something afoot. You didn't tell him there was a murder, but you know, you told him that you asked him what was going on.
Mason, you're like, "Mason, there was a death."
Yeah. Mason, there's a death. All right, later, man.
Bye. For you, sorry, fucking bye.
You know that the cops' room should be empty?
And how do I know that? I need to investigate.
Do you want to investigate the cops' room?
Yes. What is this strange device? Picks up a bra. I've never had to use one of these myself.
You make your way to the police officer's room, or whatever she calls herself. As you do, you notice that again the door is basically open at this point because she just came rushing out.
It's gonna walk in and take a look around, do a bit of an investigate.
You're gonna investigate the room?
Yeah.
All right. Obviously, this is fine.
Cha.
As you begin looking around the room sinisterly, or just regularly,
Whichever way you want to look around the room.
I'm like, I will do nothing without express permission. Well, implied permission. Every time I open something, I like yell out the door like, "I'm opening your dresser! Tell me if you don't want to. Me too." Good. Opens.
You begin to go through the things that are being that are up here. As you do, go ahead and roll me for your focus. First, there's gonna be several rolls while you're in here. Don't worry.
Gotcha. Focus. I got a 16.
Okay, I actually didn't expect you to get the focus roll.
Neither did I. I didn't expect to get... the 2 things that are going to come into play in here are wits and focus, unless I decide to beat up a dresser. And I'm bad at both of those. So...
Fucking...
See, I figure I'm gonna die relatively quickly, so I'm trying to create as much like clue fodder for everyone else as I can before I die.
Yes.
You might not
Are we
die.
all assuming we're gonna be the first ones to die?
Safe assumption.
Yeah.
You begin looking around the area. As you do, you make your way over to one of the cabinets. You yell out, "I'm opening the cabinets!" And you open them up. Inside, you find something rather interesting. You're not sure if, I don't know, maybe these were already here before the police officer showed up. But you look in and you find some very strange clothes. You find some costumes.
Oh my god.
What
She's
is that?
kinky as fuck, isn't she?
You look around. You're like kind of going through some of them, and it's like there's a fireman's outfit. There's a bunny outfit. There's a devil outfit. It is October.
Cha.
She's not really a security guard.
Maybe she's just an avid Halloween enthusiast.
Yeah, no.
So my notes on her are now this. This is how my notes on her are written right
I
now.
completely missed it.
What are you hiding? Oh, it was sex clothes. She was hiding sex clothes.
Cha.
Well, none of this really. I don't think any. This doesn't play into it. I move them around to see anything. I'm like gonna see if there's anything under them, but after that, be like, "These are yours, and I do not intend to take them."
That doesn't appear to be much of anything else in the cabinet. Want to roll me for your wits next?
Yes. 16.
You made the wits roll too. Oh shit!
The others were holding me back. When I'm on my own, I'm at my A game.
How the fuck?
I will find you, pterodactyl.
You close the cabinet and you start looking around. As you do, you make your way over to the bed and you head over to the bedside table. You open the bedside table and you look inside as you find a pair of fuzzy handcuffs.
Nice.
Why are these where my really good rolls are going?
Right under them, you find a pair of regular handcuffs.
At least she does her job. And underneath, I find a gun.
As you look down in this, you're like, well, you're not entirely sure what she was doing here, but you're wondering if she's a real cop now.
Yeah.
It might have been cosplay.
Yeah. She didn't know what she was doing.
This woman is
Oh,
merely
no.
playing the part. She told us that she was a cop, maybe for kicks. And now that this has happened, she's caught in the lie. Or something more nefarious is afoot. That's it. I slam my fist into my hand. I've got it. She must dress up as a pterodactyl to terrorize us.
Of course.
Maybe she
I'm
just
like,
dressed up Boddy as a body.
I see myself do this in a mirror, and I'm just like, I look really dumb when I say that. Well, there's nothing else in here that I can gain. I best just put everything back where I found it and move on to another room. And probably stop talking to myself out loud.
There was one more roll from this room.
Oh.
As you put everything back to where it was, you close the bedside table drawer. You look back around, heading back to the front of this place. And as you do that, roll me for your luck, please. This was the one I was thinking you would actually make.
29!
Jesus
Yay.
Christ.
You got a nat 19. Anyway.
Yeah, bow, 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 bow.
Yeah.
As you start making your way back to the front of the room, like, you know, I might have learned a lot more here than I should have. As you walk in this direction, you step on something. You look down, and as you look down, you find a small firearm under your foot.
Oh, fuck.
The dickens?
No.
Why would not a real cop have a real gun?
This bitch is looking suspicious as fuck.
In light of what has happened, I believe I should take this.
I should fire it into the ceiling just to make sure it's real.
You're right. You do it.
I'd like to inspect it and see if I can tell if it is a real, in fact, firearm.
Roll me for your wits, please.
And here's where it's gonna all fall apart.
Yeah.
That's the 13. That's not bad.
I mean, it looks real.
Oh, fuck.
Can I? Is there any way to check if it's loaded without breaking it? Because I'm scared I will.
You
Shoot
look
the TV.
over the weapon. It looks very real. You don't want to like mess with it too much. You're trying to see if it's loaded. It's not like a revolver. It's like it's a clip. It's a magazine gun. You're trying to get it to come out. You find a safety on it, so you push that immediately.
Oh my god.
Into safety.
You're just like. At which point you do fiddle around with it. You kind of bring out the bottom. You find that it's seemingly full of very large things. Very large ball circular ammunition.
Oh.
You take one out and you feel it. It is very light and squishy.
Oh, rubber bullets.
It appears to be paintballs.
Oh.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Well, I'll be keeping this.
You find that there is an air canister in this as well. It apparently is a small paintball gun.
Oh.
Swag!
Can I tell how many bullets there are?
There are 8 rounds in this.
And assuming I can see the paintballs, are they all different colors?
They are all a myriad of colors, yes. There is a rainbow of color.
I'm gonna put this into my jacket. I assume I'm a big guy. I assume I got a big jacket. I assume I have a place to hide this.
Yes.
All right.
I will continue my search, but this looks better than I initially thought for our fair security officer, who I shall name Trixie.
Yes.
Jesus.
Brackets,
Trixie Tang.
Trixie.
You should tell her that. I'm sure she'll love it.
Trixie.
Yeah.
He pulls out a nail.
And I'm like, silly woman. Tricks are for kids.
No.
All right. I'm gonna move on to another room, a non-Mason room.
You head off to another room. I would like you to please make sure that you put the small paintball gun with 8 rounds in your inventory, which is
I
just
have
anywhere
done
on your
that.
sheet.
Indeed, I have.
All right. And as you begin to go off to another room, Stacy, Chad,
Cha.
Go it up.
you guys begin to make your way toward the basement just as Ruth makes her way coming up from the basement. You look at Ruth and you see that there is an axe on Ruth's person as she is coming up, a small fire axe.
Oh my god, Ruth, I know we didn't really get along, but you don't have to kill me. Okay?
This seems normal.
Say, what? Looks at like the fire axe. Oh. Yeah, no, not today.
Okay.
You guys
Wait.
look around, the lights have come
What
on,
day?
and you can feel a bit of air coming from the vents as you can tell that there is heat coming out now.
Oh my
shit, the
god,
power.
did you fix it?
Yeah, little wrinkle to the whole situation though. This, pose at the fire axe, was embedded in the wall, cutting off the power.
Some sort of sabotage, says the police officer.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Quote, unquote.
Quote
probably.
unquote.
Cha.
What was your name and badge number?
Damn.
Yeah, like I asked for your name earlier and you didn't give it. What's your name? I think you called me
Guys.
police lady.
I just love how it's like,
now.
yeah, what's your name and badge number?
Yeah, Jesus.
She looks. I'm Mandy.
Mandy, I like the song. It's pretty.
Well,
I'm Stacy.
I guess, more Amanda. Yeah, that sounds much more professional.
I'm calling Mandy. Okay. It's cuter.
Brad Chad, bro.
Oh my god.
Mandy's cuter.
And that badge number?
She just looks at you. She starts going around around her pockets. I was in such a hurry coming out. I guess I didn't grab my badge. I'll head upstairs.
Oh, I get that.
Can I roll insight?
You want to roll for a. I mean, you saw that she had busted her head up against the door earlier. You saw she was in a bit of a hurry. However, do you want to roll me for your focus to see if you can tell anything from her face?
Sure. 20.
Holy shit.
You can tell that she's kind of looking a bit, maybe she's just worried about her badge. She looks like she's I can, it's upstairs.
Yeah, you get that. I'm gonna go I need some munchies, man.
Yeah, dude. Bye.
So yeah, someone deliberately cut the power.
Heinous, bro.
That's fucking scary.
So we can probably assume that
But
this and
this and
Mr. Boddy are connected somehow.
But Ruth, you're the one with the axe. Ruth, did you cut the power?
It was embedded in the wall. I pulled it out to fix the power.
Isn't that convenient, Ruth? She's glaring at her.
Just slowly reaching for the axe.
Dudettes. Calm yourself.
Not today.
Not today.
Too many witnesses.
Too many witnesses. Well, now that the power's on, the snow and other things could be able to be more easily brought off of the body. We'll be able to see where the wounds on this body actually are.
I mean, I suppose. But what did you do with the body?
She points back toward the living room. It's like, oh, we brought it inside.
Why did you do that?
Because it seemed like the right thing to do, bruh.
He was cold outside.
We couldn't just
So
leave
he
him
could
Hey.
outside. We'd
put him
never
in
know
my eye and touch
anything.
him.
He's a body.
Yeah, but he was
Hey, I
cold
told
outside.
you.
Why would that matter?
Because it sucks being cold. Also, don't worry, I didn't touch him. Don't worry.
Bae, come on, I told you. He's gonna be cold forever.
Stop it! He's at
He's
least a
gonna be
little
cold
warmer
forever.
here, especially because Ruth fixed the heating and stuff.
Also, for some reason, based on the description earlier, I'm picturing the body looks like it's kind of frozen in carbonate, but blood. Just
There's a lot of blood on this body. There is a fair amount of blood.
Oh god.
Well, I mean, you kind of destroyed the crime scene.
I don't have any way of preserving the crime scene at the moment, and we needed to know if it was a murder or not.
Yeah. But all you had to do to preserve the crime scene would be to not bring it inside.
I made sure to do my job. Watch. She goes over and reaches into one of her pockets and she pulls out what appears to be a cell phone. As she does, you see that she has taken a picture of the crime scene.
Oh my god.
It's definitely not what she should have done.
No.
But she seems very proud to have this picture.
See, Ruth, she knows what she's doing. God, and we
God.
Does Ruth just know that this is absolutely stupid and not police procedure?
Ruth, roll me for your wits.
25.
Oh my god.
You're just... This is a bad cop.
Yeah,
you can kind of tell from like what you guys had talked about earlier with the receptionist that perhaps she's more of a mall cop than anything.
You're not a great cop, are you? Are you even a cop?
Of course I am.
Where do you work?
Yeah, dude.
She just like
She's got a
looks at you, looks away, and she just kind of mumbles like, Central Street Mall.
Sorry, what was that?
Central Street Mall.
What? A little louder, dear.
I work on Central Street. I cover my beat there.
Oh my god, she's a mall cop. She's not even a real cop.
But, like, she's still a cop, though.
Not.
Maybe no.
She's a security
not.
guard
She's
at
not.
best.
But the uniform.
No, baby, no.
I still have more authority than anyone else here.
Cha, dude.
No, actually.
That's what I
Yeah.
meant.
Like, are we at a mall right now, Mandy? I don't think so. God.
Even
Listen, you
Stacy's
came to me and
calling
asked me to help.
I wish we were at the mall right now, Mandy, but we're not, okay?
She just like looks to Ruth like, listen, you
Let's
came
go
to me for help.
the mall
Today.
today.
Cha.
She just looks kind of defensive. She's just looking at Ruth like, listen, you came to me for help. I just came to help.
Yes, but why are you pretending to be a cop? You could have just said you weren't one.
I'm on vacation, and whenever people saw the outfit, they're like, hey, a cop. And I'm like, yep, I'm important. What?
So because you wanted to feel important, you destroyed a crime scene.
No,
and
I'm trying to
possibly
figure out
destroying
what
any
happened.
leads we have on finding who killed this guy.
I'm trying to figure out what happened. We'll never know even if he was killed by somebody, or maybe it was an animal. We have to find out what kind of wounds he has.
Maybe it was her. Ruth, I bet it was her.
Hey, calm down.
Maybe. I mean,
She
technically it
did
could be
it.
any of us.
Y'all need to calm down, alright?
She's looking at the two of you, and she's kind of backing up like, oh shit, someone's accused me of being a
Yep.
murderer. I didn't do it.
Y'all need to,
You
like,
do the
smoke
murder?
the dope, bruh.
Baby,
Calm
shut
your
up.
nerves,
God, she's a
bruh.
murderer. She's a murderer, not a cop, okay? God, shut up.
You're doing the jumping thing, bae. Come on.
Remember the last time you accused a dude of being a murderer?
Everybody's murderers.
He just worked at
Everybody's
Arby's,
catching
Dave.
everybody.
He just worked there. It was Arby's sauce.
She's been accusing everybody of murder like her entire life, and then when there's an actual murder, she thought it was soup. God.
What is your life, Stacy?
Fucking stoked,
See,
bruh.
Izuki in the chat already made a backstory. It's like mall cop by day, prostitute by night, paying the bills and trying to get the job of her dreams through illegal means.
I love it.
Sounds solid.
Also, paintball enthusiast.
Yes,
Of course.
of course.
But yeah, we should at least try and carefully figure out how he died.
Well, there's no use of, like, crying over spilled milk now. It's already here. We'll just have to figure out what happened to the body
Dude,
now.
there's milk.
You have milk?
I mean, there's probably milk.
Cha.
Oh my god, let's go get milk.
Cha.
Ruth reaches for the axe again.
I'll go back and watch over the body. The receptionist said he wanted to go and make food anyway.
I don't
Time to
trust
get my
you alone
munch
with your
on.
body. What if you murder it some more?
Why don't I do the autopsy?
Ew, Ruth.
I'm a smart
Yeah.
18-year-old. Clearly, I have that kind of expertise.
Ew.
I can't let you do that without
Yeah,
me being
you'd
there.
be so much better at it.
Once again, I cannot stress this enough. You have no more authority than anyone else here.
Yes, but I feel like I do, so I'm going to watch you.
Oh my god.
Cha.
I'm not gonna stop you. You said right there I don't have the authority, but I will watch you.
I feel like someone else should watch her watch me.
But
I'll watch her. I don't trust that
Munchies.
bitch.
Cool.
Babe, how about you go get us milk, and I'll watch Mandy, who'll watch Ruth, who'll do the autopsy, which is gross, but let's do that.
Job, eh?
Okay, let's do it.
We shouldn't mess with the crime scene. How about we cut open the body
It'll be fine.
with a fucking axe?
It'll
After
be
cutting
fine.
open
I mean, I didn't say I
bleed.
was gonna use an axe.
Where is Lucky at this point?
To a fucking autopsy.
I'm getting to the end of my 5 minutes of knocking on a door with no one answering, and I'm preparing to break in.
Okay.
Like, I'm trying to see how much leeway a +10 in wits gets me.
Oh, Jesus.
You want to head back into the other room and see if you can figure out what happened to the body?
Sure.
And we're gonna have Mandy and Stacy go in there as well.
Yee.
All right. And Rad Chad, you're gonna go and try to get some munch on.
Cha, dude.
Dude,
All
hell
right.
yeah.
You start heading off into the kitchen, and just a little bit after you, the receptionist shows up, heading back over to the stove and finishing his breakfast he was making before. Whenever the power web went off. As you stand there to get yourself something to eat, and Stacy, you watch Mandy, who watches Ruth as Ruth is trying to just kind of chip away at the ice and the snow that's covering this body. We're gonna go back up to our good friend Benjamin.
Yay.
To which I'm getting to the end of my little like, and if you are a bad, then I'm coming at you.
You're just in front of one of the last doors in this hallway, talking, just on the other side of the police officer's door, and nobody seems to have been answering you as you've been talking in there.
I'm going in.
You make your way over to the door and you open it up. You feel like it should have been locked, but it's not. As you open the door up, you look inside as you find an empty room. By empty, of course, I mean there is luggage, there is things like that in here. Maybe it was from one of the guests who'd already left, or maybe it's from a guest who's just not in their room right now. But there is items in here, just no people.
What sort of things do I see? Anything particular?
You see that there is a suitcase. There is several clothes and other things like strewn across the bed. And if you would like to roll me for your luck, please.
I would love to roll my luck.
Oh, god damn it.
And get a 17, but still a 17's a 17.
There's also what appears to be a large cube of illegal substances.
This
Along
was
the bed.
Boddy's room.
Cha.
I'm gonna take the cube.
You're gonna take the cube of illegal substances?
Yes.
Cube.
Perhaps if I want Chad to do something, I'll give this to him later.
Perhaps if I acquire enough things without the others knowing, we'll come to a conclusion about what happened.
You're just gonna like show up and like have all these things, and like everybody's gonna be like, we can't find any clues. Oh, what about all of these? As you grab the cube of illegal substances, and you place the cube inside of your jacket.
Cube of illegal substances.
The cube of illegal substances.
Yeah.
Cha, dude.
Well, I suppose I'll have to head on to the next room.
Wow.
Not gonna worry about anything else in the room.
I will open everything.
You open the cabinet, there's nothing there. He has a suitcase and he has a bedside table. You go to the bedside table, there's nothing really in there. You find that there is there appears to be some things in there to help with making the things with the illegal substances.
Yes. The illegal substance things.
Yes, the bong and the paper. Gotcha.
And as you see the illegal substance things, you can take them or leave them, but the only thing really in this room you can really tell to go through without like finding the hidden compartment behind the television like the others did, is the suitcase. If you want to go through it or not. You don't have to go through it. You can leave it alone. What do you want to do?
I believe I will.
You will go through the suitcase?
Yes.
You go to the suitcase and you go to unzip it. As you do, roll me for your focus.
17.
You
That was a
hear
nat 19.
You hear something behind you. You look back just as you see what appears to be a shadow of a person going in the opposite direction, as if somebody was in the doorway previously.
I will make chase!
Oh, hell yeah.
Roll me for your speed.
All right. 17!
Dang. Dang, dude.
As I make chase, I'm also going to pull out my gun.
Your quote-unquote gun.
Halt, shady doer!
Oh my god.
Or you will be marked. You will not receive a second warning.
Oh my god. You pull out the fucking gun.
When idiots played.
You head outside, you skid a little bit, you pull the gun out from your jacket. As you look forward, you see what appears to be a woman running away from you in the opposite direction, going back toward the other set of rooms on the opposite hall. What do you do?
Kapow! I fire a ball of my paint.
You're firing
no.
at her?
Yes.
Jesus.
Alright, this is a ranged attack, so roll me for your focus.
Prepare to be marked. Bang! 3!
Oh my god.
You fire the weapon. The weapon hits the window. The window, unfortunately, is very, very cold and seemingly cannot handle the air paintball behind it, and actually shatters.
Cease running, villain, or there will be a second shot.
Oh my god, no.
As you're yelling that, you're trying to intimidate. So go ahead and roll me for your muscle.
23.
Fire! You better stop. That was a warning shot. They don't know it was a paintball. All they know is they heard a freaking shatter behind them. They just fall down to their knees and cover their head like, ah!
That is right. Now, why were you staring at me as I investigated a
You're
room
on
that
the
was
other
not
side
mine?
of the hall, yelling down the hall toward a person you barely can talk to.
Why were you spying on me while I was sifting through another person's belongings?
Do you want to get any closer?
Yes. For some reason, at this point, I'm imagining my character is like All Might with a detective coat and a paintball gun.
Oh my god.
Have I seen this woman before?
Oh, give me a second. Oh, okay. You get closer to this woman. As you do recognize this person. As you come forward, you know that this person was actually around Mr. Boddy a lot. You find that this is actually the woman that he came here with. However, they had separate rooms.
Oh.
She introduced herself, and he introduced her as Mrs. Boddy.
As I walk towards Mrs. Boddy, I'm going to keep the gun aimed at her, not like so she doesn't run. I regret to inform you, Mrs. Boddy, that Mr. Boddy has met with an untimely demise.
You're having a gun behind her and telling her, your husband is dead.
We're currently investigating the murder-death of your husband.
Oh my god.
Any help would be appreciated greatly.
Any help would be
You may recognize me from TV. I'm Benjamin Harklin, world-class Olympic skier.
I was supposed to play Bodhi in in the skiing competition, but he met with an unfortunate accident.
But he met with an accident, and so I am now searching through rooms looking for clues. I have acquired this gun with which to find more justice.
My God.
1 second, please, while I decide that I want to roll a wits check just for me.
I need a second too.
I got a 1, so I don't see anything wrong with this.
I need a second too. This is the
Do
game.
hurry! Click, click, like just walks, finally steps up to her and stops. Or there could be another murder at any time, and your help would be greatly appreciated.
Holy
Oh my
shit.
God.
So, with all of this accompanying that intimidation check you already made,
Did I
she
kill her
basically
by a
just
heart
like
attack?
starts wobbling where she's kneeling and just falls forward. She has been knocked out.
Drat. It'll be impossible to get any answers out of her like this. I'm going to pick her up and like put her over my shoulder and head back towards the
Quick.
others.
You look down at her. You kind of turn her over. She looks really young to be with Mr. Boddy. Actually, you know that Mr. Boddy looked like he was older than you. Like this girl looks rather young to be Mrs. Boddy. You always thought that in the last couple of days that you guys have been there. They didn't really seem to have the greatest relationship too. Like he was always kind of yelling for her to go and do stuff for him and stuff the past couple of days.
So this lady may have had some kind of motive. Perhaps Bodhi was an abusive jerkface. I shall reconvene with the others and ask their opinion. And also inform them that a window has broken.
Somehow.
Somehow.
I would like you to please mark on your sheets. You have 7 paintball bullets now.
my God.
I'm keeping track of the rounds.
All right. Did you put away the gun?
Christ.
Yes.
Okay. You put away the gun in your jacket. You grab her and throw her over your shoulder as you start going down the stairs to the others. Ruth,
Yes.
you begin doing your autopsy.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
As you were doing this, you just hear like, you know, the people in the room are kind of just like, Manny's just kind of like watching you, just like, you know, be careful of the body, don't move it too much. And you're like, bitch, you moved it all the way here.
I can't possibly fuck it up any more than you did.
With all of this talking underway, you do hear, by the way, Mr. Luckiest Benjamin alive, voices coming from the living area.
Hmm.
Do you want to head
What's
off in that direction,
that?
Benjamin? Mr. Luckiest man alive?
Oh no, he might be peeing.
I'm going to
Or dead.
assume that
He got
you
murdered.
died.
Yeah, he got murdered. Fuck.
You were alone with the killer too long. She passed out to lure you into a false sense of security and stabbed you in the neck.
Bitch.
We're going to assume that that Logan is off duty in the bathroom or whatever.
Yes.
Cool.
But Ruth, as you begin going over the body, you're trying to again get all of the ice and snow chipped away from the top. You're noticing that there is quite a lot of blood all over this body.
I'm just now noticing that.
Oh my god.
It's seeming to be completely coating this man. You're like, how did this man, no matter what attacked him, get coated in his own blood? Head to toe, all over.
So like not even like one side of him, just like all of
over.
him.
As you begin to like kind of get stuff away from his face, you're noticing there are some scratches and things like that on his face that could seemingly be made by an animal.
Like really like deep scratches, like
They seem to be slightly deep, but not like deep enough to kill him.
Okay. And like
You
do
go
they
down
look
to
like
like his arms, you notice that his clothes are kind of tattered up again from like scratches, and maybe it happened whenever he was going through the forest, or maybe it happened from animals, who knows.
Are all like
However,
the scratches in like sets, like from like
they
a
seem to
bear
be
claw?
at random.
Okay, so they're not like each like sets of 4 or something, so you could.
No. However, once you get to the center of this man, that's when you start noticing something you're not sure if a small animal could have done. Maybe a bear.
It's a pterodactyl.
You find
Not ladder.
there is a hole
Oh,
around his chest area.
Oh.
a hole, you say?
It looks as if parts of his self are pushing out from it as well, meaning he was probably stabbed through the back by something rather large, potentially.
Is it like
you kind of have try to flip him over a little bit, but he's a little heavy with the dead weight and all. You have Mandy help you. As you guys look back, there is a large wound across his back. His entire back part of his shirt has been pretty much ripped through. You're not sure a claw could have done that.
Does it look like an axe?
It's much larger than a knife wound.
and like the
It's like
When you
someone
say he
stabbed
was-
him through with like a halberd or a tree.
Okay, so it's not like a small wound, like from
It is a
something
large.
thin.
From the front, it looks small-ish, which means that maybe only a bit of it came out. From the back, it is a large wound.
Huh. Okay. He appears to have been killed by some sort of medieval siege weapon.
Something or someone has stabbed this man through the back.
Jesus fuck.
Interesting.
I'm back, by the way.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Nico was trying to talk to you while you were gone.
Benjamin, you hear noises and talking coming from the living area. If you would like to head that way,
I would indeed.
you walk up and you see that Ruth, as well as the police officer,
Oh my god.
and Stacy are in the living area. They're looking over the body. They have the body flipped kind of over, and there is a humongously large wound along this person's back. Ruth and Stacy, you see that Benjamin is carrying an unconscious girl over his shoulder.
What did you do?
While investigating the room of our deceased friend to look for any kind of clues, Miss Boddy was spying on me. I attempted to interrogate her, and she fled, likely in fear of my rippling biceps, or perhaps intimidated by my world-class fucking accomplishments. I'm unaware.
That, yes.
However,
Did you say he was
In the
still holding the
escape-
gun?
in the escape...
He
No,
put
I
the gun
it
away.
Okay.
In
Okay.
the escape, I commanded her to cease running away. Apparently, I was too intimidating. The window upstairs shattered during the chase. We should patch that up. I believe that she may know something about the murder.
Huh.
She is
So-
unharmed, though.
What you're saying is you were going through her room, she got freaked out and ran away, and you chased after her.
Negative, I was
Probably
not in
straight.
her room. Miss Boddy
Are
and
you
Mr.
sure
Boddy.
about that?
Yes, Miss Boddy and Mr. Boddy had different rooms.
That's kind of weird.
Is that actually
Perhaps.
true?
Do you want to tell
Yes,
them?
that's true.
Do you want to tell them what you have seen of Mr. and Mrs. Boddy over the past 2 days?
They did not get along. It is clear that this is a celebrity relationship between a young girl and an older, more successful, but not as lucky as maybe he should have been man. However, their personalities, as they oft do in these sort of relationships, seem to clash. They argued often. He bossed her around. Perhaps she had had enough, which is why I brought her here, to ask all of your opinions.
And then she stabbed him through with a tree and made that wound.
Yes. However, she has a weak constitution, what with falling unconscious at the sound of my bellowing voice.
I want to walk over and slap her.
You walk over to slap her. Roll me for your luck.
Oh my
Can I roll?
god.
Can I roll speed to try to catch her hand before she slaps
Go
her?
Why?
I nat 20'd that.
Well, shit.
Carrie, roll me for okay, yeah, no.
Damn it.
You go to
You
slap
try-
her as you just a hand just comes out like quick as if he could have caught a fly.
Jesus.
And it
Stacy,
catches your
nay!
hand.
We must be
Ow!
kind to her. Even if we believe her to be the culprit, we must still treat her with dignity.
If we think she's the culprit, then we need to wake her up to ask her questions, dumbass.
I
Tell
do
her
not
girl.
believe. I do not believe slapping her would do that. That only tends
Then-
to work in like horror movies and shit.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Then how would you suggest we wake her up?
We shall lay her down, and she shall come to on her own time.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
Then
or I could yell at her. That seems to get things done.
Her husband's dead body is in the other room. We should lay her next to him.
It'll be a comforting
We
Actually-
even have a blanket in there. She can be on the blanket.
I have a. Actually, what if, and just hear me out on this, what if we placed her beside the dead body and then gauged her reaction when she wakes up? She'll have a moment of mental vulnerability. And when she awakens and sees the body, if she's surprised, we'll know that. I don't know, that she didn't
that
do it.
she
'cause
was
she-
surprised.
That she's scared of dead bodies, or that she
that
killed him.
she's scared of the dead body, but if she's completely okay with it, it means that she knows it occurred.
Yeah. Let's do that. That makes so much sense, right, Ruth?
Now, there's a.
Mandy just is kind of like looking at you guys like, it's just crazy enough to work.
Oh my god, yeah.
No, it's not.
I like look over at fucking Mandy. I'm like, indeed. All we need to do is dress up the situation to meet our needs.
Let's
I
roll for
wink.
her wit to see if she catches that or not.
I wink at that. At her.
Holy shit.
She has no idea what you're talking about. She got a -1.
Oh
Indeed.
my god.
She's
like,
just
looks at
like,
me blank.
yeah,
Just look-
dress up the situation. What a weirdo. Okay.
After all, Mandy, things are not always what they appear to be.
Let's roll again.
Wink.
She looks at you the second time. It's like she gets like the second wink, and she's like, "What do you say?"
Wait a minute.
I'm saying that
She doesn't say
Uh,
that. She doesn't say that. She just kind of like looks at you like very like, what? Obviously you're speaking to her, but she doesn't entirely understand what you're meaning yet.
Oh, fuck it, whatever.
This is not a good idea. You're just gonna traumatize the poor woman.
She'll be fine. We're all looking at a dead body. Shit.
This is her husband.
She'll be fine.
Ex-husband.
You're saying
I
that if
believe
you
they're
were-
probably not married legally now.
Oh god.
So what, are you saying that if you woke up next to the dead bodies of the 9 guys who were fucking last night, you'd be cool?
Ruth, what is your fucking problem?
My problem is that you should shut your legs once in a while.
Oh my god! Chad, are you gonna let him talk to me that way?
Ruth, there's
not
nothing wrong with. I look over to Mandy. Giving in to your sexual desires.
Let's roll.
Dog shit.
I just like motion to her with a hand, like, come on.
Oh,
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
admit
She
it.
got a 2. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh my god.
You just take off your pants.
No, not. That's not what I'm saying.
He's not hitting on her. He wants her to admit about her costume.
I want her to know that I know without like telling everyone else exactly
Yeah.
what I know.
Yeah.
Fucking, I'm gonna go wits 10.
I mean, would it have been no surprise if he was trying to fuck her?
No.
What was that? What was the wits roll for?
10. I was seeing if I was just gonna be like, I know what you do, but I got
I know
exactly
you.
the minimum. I got exactly the minimum of what I said. I like told myself I would need to not do that.
Oh, Jesus.
She just like looks to the others. It seems to be 3 against 1 on the whole laying her next to the dead body thing.
Yeah, you should do it.
Yes,
Fine,
democracy.
do whatever you want.
Yay.
We'll at least lay her on the blanket.
Yeah, that'll make it better, totally.
Also, perhaps we should put her in handcuffs so when she wakes up, if she is crazy, then she won't come after us.
I have
Does
some.
anybody have handcuffs?
I have some.
Ah, there we go.
I'll go and get them.
For the
There
sake of
we
intimidation, though, we should make sure that they are not playful or fuzzy. Just throwing that out there.
Oh.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't use any fuzzy handcuffs for this.
Of course you wouldn't.
For this.
Just walks out.
Does Ruth think any of this is odd?
Our good man here is laying something down thick, but it's like, is he being any stupider than he usually is? Roll me for wits.
That's fair.
Let's find out.
You can tell he's trying to say something. She leaves the room and he just kind of puts the girl down on the blanket as she goes. You can tell that he's trying to say something to her.
So, Miss, the fake mall cop left, but
Yes.
Benny's still here.
Yes.
What the heck was that?
That was a Democratic delegation in which we decided to put this body beside the husband's body.
No, I mean how you keep saying weird shit to the mall cop and then winking.
Mall cop?
Oh, right. Yeah, she's not a cop. Like, she works
That's
in a mall.
ridiculous.
No, yeah, it's true. She's a fucking mall cop. You don't gotta listen to her.
This
Did
is
she say
brand new
that?
information.
Yeah, she admitted to it.
Yeah, she said she worked at Central Street Mall.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, then I suppose that's how it is. As
Yeah.
far as she wants us to know.
Do you know something else?
I know only that I should respect a woman's privacy.
By stealing her gun and going through
Unless
her
it's this woman, points to Miss Boddy. Her privacy is currently up for debate.
You have very strange standards.
Mm.
I seek only justice.
What the fuck is this character become?
Oh.
Eventually she comes back with a pair of handcuffs, and she goes and cuffs the woman's hands together. As she does this, she sees the woman begin to stir and points off to the other side of the room to everybody else, like, hide.
Okay. Like,
Sure.
I'm huge, so I like grab a blanket or something and wrap myself in it, hit the floor.
She runs off around the corner as well and just peeks around. As this happens,
Ruth goes around the corner, but like doesn't make any effort to do it quickly.
just walk away like,
Pretty much.
Oh.
as everybody hides, however fast they want to. The woman begins to stir. As she sits up, she goes to lift her hand to hold onto her head because she feels like, oh man, I passed out, that's weird. She notices that she's bound. She looks to her hands and she starts like shaking them like, oh god. She looks forward, seeing the body. And at first she starts going, like, she starts looking terrified. She starts like going, oh god, like, you hear like, oh god. You hear like sounds, you hear like breath coming from her, and she's seemingly freaking out. Ruth, you begin to step out from behind to be like, okay, that's enough. Whenever
Oh my god.
oh my god. A smile goes across her face as she begins to laugh very lowly, looking at the dead body in front of her. To be continued.
Oh no! Put the munchie!
You bitch!
Put the munchie!
It's been 3 hours.
Oh fuck.
That was around the time that I said we were going to be having this. with that being said, I hope that you guys I thought the little starter game here was doing good.
Oh my god.
The
Next
munchies,
time
though.
we'll see just what this laugh means. Perhaps we'll meet the rest of the attendees here at the lodge and maybe find out if any one of our people here are exactly who they all say they are. Who's to know?
There are 2 people we haven't met.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming that there's only the people that we are aware of.
Ah.
And not an entire other wacky cast of characters.
Oh God.
11 more people from the other building come down.
Oh my god. There's another building.
Well, there's the storage building that I told you guys had all the food in it.
Oh, okay.
With that being said, if you guys have any questions, comments, complaints, or wisecracks, now's a pretty good time to do them. If you guys from the audience here have any questions as well, now's a good time. We're gonna be ending things off in about 5 to 10 minutes, just having a bit of a kind of sit down and think about what just happened here. Nothing really scary has happened so far, right? I mean, you just found a dead body.
Yeah, just a dead body.
That can happen in any game.
Just a dead body.
An innocent window was sacrificed.
I'm forever searching for the munchies.
You just have not a very good ranged attack roll.
I know.
But you found the gun.
We should probably switch. Like, you take the axe and I'll take the gun.
You know, I actually completely agree with that.
But I have 6 focus too.
How come we don't get
Yeah,
weapons?
but you don't have a nice axe to trade.
God.
Yeah, I have leverage.
I have drugs.
That's true. He's caught.
I mean, he has
And
drugs
a ward
too,
somewhere.
though.
Everyone has drugs.
Hey, dude, can I have the gun? I'll get you some drugs. Pulls out the cube. Ha ha! I already had drugs! Where'd you get them? I stole them from Boddy.
That's right. I
Those are
have
mine by
Bodhi's good
default,
shit.
bro.
Where'd you get that gun anyways? I stole it from Amanda.
Finn has just asked in a very important question. Blue, is it possible, no matter how unlikely, that one or more of the players is the killer? Why, yes, it's very possible.
Ooh.
Before game, I sent everybody a message, and depending on the message I sent them, they could have a very different way to go about their character.
Fucking Ruth.
Shoddy.
Either I have talked to them all and told everyone they're kind of crazy. I've talked to one of them and said that they're crazy. I've talked to none of them and said they're crazy. I've talked to one of them and said they're the killer, or I've talked to nobody. Who knows? Maybe I didn't even send any messages out to anybody.
You don't even know.
Or maybe he just wanted us to have a good time. You never know.
Sowing the seeds of paranoia.
We are going to be coming back to this again next Monday, if that's fine with the 4 of you still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
And it should be around the same time. This shouldn't take longer than 2 more sessions. However, the last session may be a little bit longer than this one. Who's to say? Depending on how many people are left.
Dun, dun, dun.
Shit.
My split personality is the killer.
Finn says, "You're all the killer. I knew it."
He's
I mean,
right.
they all were the ones that found the Boddy. I mean, Boddy.
Yes. The body, yes. It's all
I
went to like
did
write that
identify
down in the
Bodhi.
notes. Bodhi, body. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, fucking.
So it's actually a funny story. I'm actually basing this entire game off of a visual novel that me and my friend who's down in Tennessee with me are actually wanting to create. And the person that dies in that game is also named Bodhi.
Outstanding.
Cool.
It's a visual novel that's based off of old series and stuff like Clue. So of course the person who dies has to be Mr. Boddy or Mr. Bodhi.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking Clue. I love that shit.
But yeah, it's something that is definitely a work in progress, but it's something we've already talked about, and he's started making like prototype stuff for and stuff like that.
Ooh.
But yeah, with that being said, I hope that everybody had a good time. I hope that everybody in the audience had a decent time with this first game. And yeah, we'll come back next week, figure out what's going on with these guys, figure out how they're gonna react whenever they find out about the maniacally laughing Mrs. Boddy.
Oh,
And
yes.
we'll see what goes on. But until next time, guys, you guys have anything else to say before we head off?
Cha, dude.
I'm having a lot of fun with Stacy.
Ruth hates everyone and everything.
It was a lot more crazy than I thought it'd be. I was laughing my ass off.
You knew
I
who
wonder
you
if
were
I
inviting
died.
to this. Why is
I
this
knew
a
who I
shock?
invited to
You knew.
this. I know.
You knew.
I knew I invited 3 Abridgers and Emerald.
I
I only
the
wanted
least
justice.
amount of damage, technically speaking.
It's true.
I only want justice.
She's a pterodactyl.
It's a pterodactyl.
Mrs.
I know
Bodie is the
pterodactyl.
It's
pterodactyl.
a pterodactyl, okay? The pterodactyl.
She's the pterodactyl killer.
No,
She
right.
dresses up as a pterodactyl and kills.
Whenever the actual police get up here, that's what you give the title of the killer. Yes, they were the pterodactyl killer.
Oh my god.
First they murdered the soup, then Mr. Bodie. But yes. Until next time, guys, I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. We enjoyed ourselves. And like always, later days.
Aw, bye,
Ciao.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Brr.